are simple.
The only rules that really matter are these.
Every time you hear this sound, a new mashup begins and everyone takes a shot of beer.
Let's do some shots.
60 minutes, 60 mashups, 60 shots. Ready to play?
You ready?
Everybody in the club getting tipsy. Everybody in the club getting tipsy. Blame it on the booze, got you feeling loose. Blame it on the drugs, got you in the zone. Blame it on the alcohol. Blame it on the alcohol. 1, then comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Everybody drunk out on the dance floor. Baby girl ass jiggle like she want more. Like she a groupie and I ain't even know it to her. Everybody in the club getting tipsy. Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. Grab my glasses, I'm out the door. I'm gonna hit this city. Before I leave, brush my teeth with a bottle of Jack. Cause when I leave for the night, I ain't coming back.
When I walk in the club, all eyes on me. I'm with the party rock crew, all drinks are free. We like to rock, we love Patron. We came to party rock, everybody is on.
Don't stop, make it pop, DJ blow my speakers up. I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive. Tonight I'ma fight till we see the sunlight. I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. Tick tock on the clock, but the party don't stop, no. I'm alive, I'm alive. And I'm loving every second, minute, hour, power, hour, power, hour. That
Baby, this is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves. And everybody's watching her, but she's looking at
I'm glad you came.
what you came for.
I hear your heartbeat to the beat of the drums. What a shame that you came here with someone. So while you're here,
Yo, what is up, everybody? What is going on? It is Beer Friday. That is right. October 16th. It is the 10th level, the 16th day of the 10th level in Jumanji that we are calling 2020. I am your host, as always, Jesse Goku, also known as El Rey de México, el oso, el campeón de la gente, el único de Geeks Forever, presentado con Telemundo. And joining us are always are my co-host, the host with the most, Jace. Yo. The man with the plan, Sonic.
Hi.
And returning since Monday, the one, the only SJ. And joining us today is a very special guest. A man that needs no introduction. A man with a plan. A man that runs a very good and very awesome podcast, by the way, I must say. The one, the only, from the Velvet Vibes podcast. Welcome.
Indeed. Don't give me tears of joy this early.
Well, welcome to the podcast, man. Finally, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey to get here, but the time has come.
Right. No, thank you so much, though. Like, I kind of felt like you thought I was mad or something, like, but we weren't even tripping about it. Like,
no, you know what? It's crazy you say that, because after the last time we talked, I was like, dang, did I even say sorry or my bad for not showing up last time? And then I went back, and by the time I was going to message you, you messaged me first, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're good. So, boom.
Yeah. No, it's fine, because I mean, it's one thing if you were just like somebody that, if you were just somebody that we invited to be on here and you just kept blowing us off, like, no, I'm busy, I can't do this. But I watch your show, so I already know that you are busy. Like,
Indeed. Well, it feels good that it comes with a purpose.
right? No, absolutely.
I've dealt with it on the opposite side too.
Oh, for real. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that'll throw off your entire show. Like, it's one of those situations you're like, man, I got all this shit planned. I got all these questions, bruh. Can't make it. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck. What do we talk about?
Facts.
No.
We're here. Let's do it, man.
Now we are here. We are live. It's Friday.
Yeah, take a sip.
Take a
I
sip.
think I'm gonna
That's
do
right.
the same thing. You gotta watch me because I'm going straight to the bottle. So you said it was Beer Friday. I might be
is.
doing the wrong thing.
No, I got you, homeboy. Right
Oh, you're
there.
rocking the Kraken.
Yes.
Oh, I've had some strange experiences with that.
I've had lots of. We don't.
Had nothing but good experiences.
You know.
I remember.
Trust me, it's all fine and dandy. The extracurricular activity stuff that the stuff that the 420 friendly stuff, we call it vitamins on the show.
Oh, there you go.
Call them vitamins. On the fucking
When
show.
we remember to.
Yeah,
I'm glad you guys are filled with vitamins.
I am at least. I'm at one with nature. I listen to. I love the songs. Like one time I took some shrooms, bruh, and like I was staring at the canopy, like the tarp of the canopy, and it was gray, and it turned blue, and I was tripping so hard when it fucking changed colors. I was like, bitch.
Yeah, this is why I focus on beverages.
Yes.
But salute to those that can handle that lifestyle.
Oh, I mean, it helps. I'm not gonna lie. Like it helps if you have anxiety.
Well, you know what's funny? We'll call it this. When it comes to vitamins, I haven't lived the mushroom life, but when it comes to vitamins, I think I'm immune or something. Like I never get high, nothing happens. I'm not against it. It's like a cigarette for me.
Right. No, and you can honestly, you can be given a bad batch.
Sounds like a waste of time. Like
Yeah.
You know how
And money.
Some places will give you down watered as alcohol, watered down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could just be bad. It could be a bad batch. Like there are some. Like,
35. I think I've been having bad batches my entire life. Then.
nah, bro.
It's the same guy giving it to you.
You'd be amazed at how often you can get a bad batch.
Damn. Well, something tells me I need to reach out to better sources.
Probably.
Straight up oregano.
Yeah.
You got to reach out to the Renaissance people, dog. The white people that dress up in the Viking garb.
They got to be on
Right,
something.
you know they don't do that shit sober.
Well, yeah, you're right. If you're wearing that kind of garment, you got a purpose.
That's right. No, well, welcome. Thank you for first off, before we begin our show. All right, Sonic, what's on the skinny today?
Well, for starters, this is kind of a breaking news. Actually, it was announced that a Static Shock movie will be coming out from DC,
Ooh.
produced by Michael B. Jordan.
Really?
Yeah. So it just announced like an hour or two ago. So this is just new. So that's actually happening. I don't know what we know. That's all we know for now. But I guess it's a developing story.
That's gonna be interesting because Michael B. Jordan is much older, and Static Shock is like a teenager.
Well, he's producing
Yeah,
it.
he's not acting.
Oh, he's
acting
producing.
it.
Okay. I thought you said they casted him. Okay, never mind.
But he might give himself a role in it.
Yeah, probably.
The villain?
But
He could be the villain. He plays a
Maybe.
great villain.
He does.
He does. And I think it's not really much. Oh, actually, an update regarding the whole PlayStation chat monitoring. Sony actually came out. They actually addressed the comments about it. They were basically addressing why exactly they were doing this. Basically, the bottom line is the reason they doing this whole monitoring thing is because PS5 users can communicate with PS4 users through chat. So that's why, pretty much the main reason. That's pretty much the short answer to that. And also, for you soda lovers, Coca-Cola will be discontinuing Tab after 60 years. It is the end of an era for Tab.
And Jay's over there laughing.
I was gonna laugh myself. That's
Y'all can.
yeah.
The 13 people in the country who still drink
Bruh,
Tab.
I didn't know
are
Tab
very-
Well,
was
no, I
around
was
for
thinking-
60 years.
Well, no, I was thinking about the Black Table podcast Tab. What's he gonna do now?
I know.
What's he gonna do
That
now?
was my thought too when I heard about it.
Y'all are messed up.
It's to change his name.
All right, what else we got?
That's pretty much.
And that's the skinny. You got it.
that
Okay,
is- it's skinny for a reason.
that's the skinny.
I like that. The skinny.
Yeah, you can steal it if you want. We stole it.
It's
Oh,
based
no.
on it's based on a morning radio show that here in Houston.
Yeah, there's a
shout out
they
to
do-
the Rod Ryan show, by the way.
Yeah,
There
shout
you
out
go.
to the Rod Ryan show.
Credit where it's due. I like that. No, we just call it church announcements.
Church
There you
announcements.
go. That's a
Oh,
Basic.
there's one podcast that says, "All right, here, all right, spill the, what's the tea today?"
Oh yeah, there you go.
I like that one too. What's the tea?
Long as it's tainted tea.
So, what's going on, man? So tell us a little bit about yourself and about your podcast, because I stumbled upon your podcast because you had a friend of mine on your show. He went by Deacon Rap.
Indeed.
And
Indeed.
I tried to watch that episode, and I just couldn't. There was nothing wrong on your part, but it was like he had like bad quality. And if he's watching this show, I'm sorry, dude, but you had shitty service. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was funny because that episode after it happened, I was like, man, I think I'm gonna not post this episode. But I have a thing where like certain people pay me to do interviews, and I'm like, I'm not gonna just tell you, oh, this sucks on your behalf and just, trash it. So we still use it. But yeah, there was a part of, I was like, I hope this is not someone's first time. So I'm glad you've heard other things from me and my podcast. But we do a lot of hip hop interviews. We do a lot of business interviews with people that have businesses. We actually, when we do the not doing interviews and we're just potting like we're doing right now, then we mainly talk relationships, a bunch of, have you been in a threesome? What would you do if you catch someone cheating and things like that? But a lot of times we're under the influence of beverages, which causes the conversation to get quite intriguing. Hell, last night we had a guy confess that I'm not the only person that rubs people down with hair grease when they're having sex. So we have
interesting.
That episode will be dropping later this weekend. So yeah.
What the fuck? Oh well, I mean, I can't talk.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I've seen some crazy ass shit at conventions, at the Comic Cons, at the anime conventions, and at Renaissance.
I can imagine.
At the Texas Renaissance. Okay, so I don't know if you know the Texas Renaissance Festival. They have the festival, and then they have the campgrounds.
Oh,
and the campground.
Try to guess which is the draw.
Which is the one that Goku doesn't go to.
Well, the way you said campgrounds, it lets me know that that's where it gets real magical at nighttime.
Oh my god, it's like Woodstock. It is
Woodstock,
just like Woodstock, but with medieval shit.
Medieval Woodstock. Le Woodstock. Woodstock.
It's like Woodstock with more deodorant.
I almost got into a fist fight with somebody at the Renaissance because they were like, hip hip, huzzah. And I'm like, bro, I'm Mexican. I don't say that shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, orale. And I started screaming, orale. And the guy got offended. And so I'm like, he's like, shut up. He was yelling at me to shut the fuck up. And I'm like, no, you shut the fuck up. So he got real heated real fast.
It sounds like you've been attending some spicy events.
Oh, I have. I've been. I have, like, it's like that question is like, you ever been a part of a three-way? I'm like, bruh, I've been a part of bigger than that. Are you shitting me?
Oh, you're a seasoned veteran, sounds like.
Yeah, no, because like, I kind of am because I'm like, I grew up, like, I guess, I grew up around the party bunch, like the I guess, what is the word? Because I considered them normal, but I guess we're called like people from the hood.
You grew up naked.
So I grew up mostly around like a lot of Hispanics and a lot of black people mostly. It was like 50-50. Like I rarely did we have any. The only time I saw white people was when I went to church.
Indeed. And then they probably were some intriguing characters as well.
Oh my god, I felt like they stared. Dude. I felt like they stared because I was the only one like showing up in a t-shirt. I'm like, what? I'm poor, man. Leave me alone.
Clap your hands, come at y'all, baby.
So no, it's just like the way I grew up. I was just so used to that big party environment. Then I got introduced to like the more gothic bondage environment once I got older.
You may notice that my eyes expanded.
Well, no, trust me, that's how I was when I first people were like hooking up, like The
So is
Renaissance
this
Festival,
your thing, or you just have an intriguing group of friends
I have a very interesting group of friends. I can tell you that much.
and they got you involved?
They did get me involved, and it's one of those things to where, it's like, and like I tell people like, oh man, I hear people all the time like, man, I want to be in a three-way. I'm like, bruh, if you're gonna be in a three-way, don't be in a three-way while in a relationship. Like that shit just, it ain't gonna end well.
Fly.
Yeah, it can cause some
How can you pay
spicy
attention?
conversations.
Why did you pay more attention to her? Why did you finish in her? I'm like, I can't control that shit.
That's why you have to have a technique when it comes to that. When you get invited to one of these, if you're in a relationship, you have to start with the bae.
Right.
You even if your eyes are going elsewhere, you just start there. That way it doesn't, because if somebody else walks in, it's like, oh, you went straight to that other bitch.
Yeah, for real. Like I got one girlfriend. So we were in the movie theater, and I was like 21. I think I was like, I don't even think I was 21 yet. I think it was like 19.
Oh, young Goku.
I was young Goku. I was a young Goku. So we're we're waiting in the line for the concession stand.
Retro
It's
Goku.
it's already a bad day because this bitch done
Retro
took me Retro Ku. It's already a bad fucking day because this bitch done took me to watch Twilight.
Oof.
Oh yeah.
So we're waiting in the line to
chat.
buy like snacks and shit because I'm like, man, I better get the large ass popcorn if I'm gonna sit through this fucking movie. and so like, and I was telling her, oh my god, like we're gonna go meet the guy that played Tommy in Power Rangers.
Indeed.
And then the girl behind me was like, oh my god, you're gonna go meet Tommy. And we started having a conversation, just a simple, innocent conversation about Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
My ex-girlfriend now got fucking jealous, and she's over here threatening to like leave me and shit if I talk to another girl. Just because I talked to her about Power Rangers, like, you weren't paying attention to me, you were talking to that girl.
That seems kind of toxic.
It was kind of.
I don't know, just concerning.
I heard something intriguing.
The background.
The background Spanish.
That's not experience.
That's not experience.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
They're on a Cobra Kai binge.
Watching Cobra Kai. Oh, they're watching Cobra Kai and they're getting overly excited. Like,
Yeah, Spanish dub, by the way, too.
Oh, give him dale la putazo, putazo, putazo.
Come on, La Russo.
Thug life.
So tell us, like, okay, so none of I don't think my other co-hosts have seen your show, but.
Bobby.
Oh my gosh.
Doggo.
Yeah. We are friends of animals here.
A guest has showed its face.
Here comes the draw.
Our numbers have
Sit
spiked.
down. Indeed, right?
The doggo demo god.
So
I think she's had enough of me already.
So
go for it.
So about I watched your show and you have like I really like your guests. So I really like a lot of the guests that you have on there, and y'all talk about some like really good topics, man. Like I really see. Here's the thing: I don't watch a lot of other people's podcasts.
Indeed. So I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, no, it is. I watch.
It's good. It's good in a good
He
way.
doesn't even watch his own podcast.
No, I don't. I don't. I don't watch my own shit.
Want to watch this train wreck?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. After editing and all that shit, I'm like, I've seen it, I heard it, and
I lived it.
I was there.
That's
Thank
how it
God
be.
for-
So, I
thank
think
God
not
for
just
Zoom.
I think not just podcasts. Also, like whenever you make like videos or you make like voiceovers or you do like music or anything, like when you hear back, I'm like, okay, I've heard enough of it. I'm
Yeah, exactly.
gonna take a break from it for a while.
Right, you are your own worst critic. You could have the voice of an angel, but you hear your own voice like, God damn it.
To
That
me,
happens a lot.
the worst thing is, even though I'm not going to stop doing this, drinking on the show, sometimes I hear back the show and then I disagree with my own self. I hear a point that I was making and then I'm like, why did somebody call me out on it? I'm like, that's bullshit.
You start arguing with yourself. Nah, you wrong and you stupid.
You
You
get in your own comments like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, oh, that's me.
Exactly. I'm like, why did I say that? Or that was wrong altogether. So no, but appreciate the compliment. We a lot of times we have I have a lot of interesting guests and I have a lot of interesting people that share some things. We just had a guy that called our show a couple weeks ago and just screaming about bitches and hoes and he said he was offended about women not losing weight until the relationship ends. And so we had to address, luckily we had a physical trainer on the show that day to address, why do people wait till you dump? You know, you get dumped, and then you say, "Oh, cool, I'm gonna go to get the gym membership. I'm gonna dye my hair, and I'm gonna do all this stuff."
Oh, it's kind of like it's like revenge or something like that.
Revenge
I don't know.
sexiness.
No, I think they call it. Oh, is it revenge? It was something like that. It was like
it's called getting into shape and trading up.
no, it's like there was a phrase they use. I heard somebody use this phrase because it was like, this girl stopped talking. Like this girl broke up with him, and then like he lost like a shit ton of weight, and then everybody was attracted to her, even his ex. And he was like, "Well, if you didn't like me at my big size, you don't deserve me at my skinny size."
See, dropping disses on people.
For real.
When you could have did that during the time y'all were together. No, but a lot of times this stuff just happens that I'm like, okay, we're gonna run with this. I'm glad this happened. Like, just like I said about the hair grease thing on my podcast, it's been a running joke about, you know, using hair grease during sex. Then I finally had a guest. This episode is not out, but I finally had a guest that came on the show and said he's been rubbing his lips with hair grease. He's been rubbing his whole house down with. So sometimes I just have these moments that I'm like, we have to take advantage of this moment.
For real. You've given me a good idea for a future podcast, by the way. Next week, we're going to talk about why people get in better shape once they break up.
Yeah. Y'all need to run with that.
We are going to run with that. And we're going to do one. We're going to do one based on motherfuckers that can't take no for an answer.
Oh, wow. That's going to get spicy.
Oh, no. We have talked about creepers. We have talked about simps.
Creepers,
No. We
Nice guys.
Before you with Saki Kitty, we spent a 3-hour episode talking about creepers.
Mm-hmm. I saw that video.
Man, I wish I was a part of that.
No, for real. Like, yeah, no, fuck yeah. We'll invite you in the future and like. So I really like what you're doing with your podcast because when you told me, oh, I got paid guests, I thought that was really cool. Like, I'm like, holy fuck, that is fucking badass. And that's where I understood, like, okay, he has a commitment. It's like a contract. It's like a contract you can't break.
Facts.
That's why I wasn't tripping. Like whenever I talk to the guys, I'm like, you know, he had a misscheduling, so.
Yeah, you know what's so crazy? Like, it's weird. Not that I ever had problems getting guests, but this is how weird the world is. When I was just saying, hey, you know, you should come on my show, I would get the no response or, oh, I'll get back at you. Then when I said, hey, my podcast has been around for like 3 years now, I probably could start charging. And, you know, I made a point to why am I doing this? I'm like, cool, we're putting it on all streaming platforms. You're promoting your business, all this good stuff. Now it's like people start breaking their necks to get to me. I'm like, damn. It used to be free. Now, y'all, but I'm like, you know, hey, I'm not tripping. But the interesting thing with that is like once I started having all these interviews, that's when it's like I'll book one. And then like me and you, we were on the same night. I had an interview that same night. And then you were like, are you ready yet? And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. No, it happens because like, so the way it works is lately we've been trying to book our guests like a week or two in advance.
Nice.
So we try to do that in advance to make sure that we don't have scheduling conflicts. So, like, but the thing is, like, with your show is weekly.
Done already. Shit.
What?
Done with that battle already. Damn.
It wasn't full when we started.
Full.
Yeah. I was gonna. I don't want you guys to think I was cooler than I'm appearing to be right now.
I think he uses the same bottle for a few shows.
Pre-game and champ.
Next one.
Round two.
I think is that your official sponsor?
Yeah.
You can give him a shout out if you want.
Indeed. We definitely got to give a shout out to 500 Vodka. Black-owned business here in San Antonio, Texas. If you're sitting at home and you need something magical in your cup, jump up on top of the turnbuckle like your name is Macho Man Randy Savage, the cream of the crop. Cream of the crop, yeah.
It's only in San Antonio. No wonder I couldn't fucking find it anywhere here in Houston.
Oh, damn.
I have it up here in Dallas.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Nice. So it looks like some expanding is going on.
All right. Also, I mean, since we're giving that shout out to our sponsors, our podcast is officially brought to you by Goku Burger. That's right. Goku's Burger, serving up hamburgers and cheeseburgers made Mexican style. It's not about the height of the burger. It's about the width. Burgers as big as the to-go plate for as little as $12 to $13. Also, in November, they have a tournament, Dragon Ball Fighters. The entry fee is just buying an entree, and then you get to enter. Geeks 5 Ever is officially sponsoring the prize. We will announce what the prize is in a couple of weeks. Also, don't forget to join us on Sunday for a very special podcast with We Rise Project.
Gotta say, you guys, you just got me inspired right there. And it's funny, I just ate. Now I'm ready. Is this
I want a burger.
Yeah, does this place really exist? Because it got me inspired.
That's right.
Yes,
Goku's
Porter,
Burgers in
Texas.
Porter, Texas.
Okay, I'm gonna put that on my notepad then.
No, they are some fucking big ass burgers, dude. I think we paid like, we got what were called two Brolys, and the fucking Brolys are like as big as this goddamn Bible.
Oh wow.
And it was like 2 drinks, 2 Brolys, and an extra side of fries for like $30.
Good grief.
And that's with
Hold
the tip
on.
though.
Whoa. Now, you know what? I need to get that in my life. This sounds like quite a magical burger. And especially, I don't know if this is, you got Goku going on. You got the Goku burger. So many Dragon Balls on that burger. We're going to have to experience that.
Oh, yeah, no, especially if you've never experienced a Mexican style hamburger.
Okay, what is
They add okay, so Mexican style hamburgers are about width. Like
Indeed.
they're wider. The meat is plus they add stuff like pineapple, they add fried ham, they add fruit to it.
I'm on. So is it as big as like a torta type of bread?
No, but it's a hamburger bun.
Oh, okay, even better.
It's a legit hamburger. It's like a pound of meat. It's fucking good, dude.
I'm going to go to this cool website. You might have heard of it before called Google. And I'm going to press this button you might have heard of before called Screenshot.
To a shout out to Pachinko and Seth who are commenting. Seth says, I need to go. Goku Burger. Seth, you need to go with me and Trunks. Me and Trunks will take you. Man, it is fucking delicious. It's a 30-minute drive from where I live. I live close to I'm 15 minutes away from the heart of downtown Houston, Texas. So it's about 45 minutes away from the center of Houston. So
Basically
it's actually not bad.
Take mostly 45 into like 59.
Yeah, that shit look good.
It is fucking good. They have their menu online. They have burgers named. They have the Goku, the Broly, the Chaosu, the Roshi.
Oh man,
they do more than just burgers. They have nachos. They have like French fries. They have some other stuff going on. They have chicken fingers. It's really good, and it's all made there. It's all made there. Nothing is frozen.
Dope as hell.
Homemade in a way.
Dope as hell.
Right, and I know the owners are really
important question.
For who?
For a guest.
Talk about it.
Why is your arm in a sling?
I was actually having a naked experience and
too much oil.
Right.
Right off.
See, when you use too much hair oil, what was it?
Right.
You got a running start and just cleared it.
You get to doing some dance moves you didn't know you had. No, actually, man, I wish it was a cooler story. Since I've done this before, dislocation to the shoulder. It's not prop. This thing does function a little bit now, but reaching in the back seat, throwing the phone charger in the back seat. The story was about to get cooler because me and my homeboy was headed to get some beer, which we did not achieve that goal because we heard a smashing, cracking sound when I threw the charger in the back seat, and that was followed with numerous cuss words and an ambulance picking me up.
Bro,
citizen days have come.
You are a lot smarter than me. I would have been like, what's wrong? Nothing. Let's go get the beer.
So you just threw something in the back seat and dislocated your shoulder?
Facts. Maybe I threw it with some aggression because we was kind of like, yeah, let's get some fucking beer.
How big was this charger?
Your average phone charger. It was just cell phone charger. It was sitting on my lap, I said, I'm gonna throw it in the back seat.
No, those kind of injuries happen. Sometimes they just happen out of nowhere.
It pissed me off. I will say this. I'm glad I didn't start drinking first because then they probably would have popped up and like, oh, you can't have any medicine and all that shit. So I'm glad we didn't achieve success. But once I got home, it was time to pull up.
So, okay. We have been, one thing I wanted to share with you that we have, so since we've been trying to get you on the show, we have talked about your show on our show prior.
Okay.
Is this Blake?
And I've talked about like, man, you gotta like check this dude out. And this is what I said. I'm like, man, y'all gotta check out the Velvet Vibes, dude. He's fucking cool. Like he's got like that. You ever heard like that old school radio station at night, like the jazz radio station? Like, what's going on there? All you cool cats.
All right, thanks, Blake.
Late night shit, people working out at night. I'm gonna play the best of jazz, and like just like shit like that. I'm like, because you got kind of like that vibe going on, like the sound of your voice. It was.
But and see, that's how
it's in its name.
Yeah, yeah, that's so velvety.
The Velvet Vibes podcast.
Super just realized she wasn't muted this whole time.
I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, she was just muted. She was like talking. It's like
I heard her talk, but it was like
the look on her face. She looks out at her mic.
Yeah, she's
like,
turning red.
Oh.
Her background is white, but she looks like a stop sign.
No,
I hate you guys so much.
Are you gonna hate on us for something you should have corrected?
Touche.
I'm gonna have to pray for you. No, that velvet technique is crazy because I used to podcast before I knew of the term podcasting. Like I used to just pretty much walk around with a camera, just stopping people in the area, just like, hey, what do you think about this? What are your thoughts on this? And I was always known for, they were like, oh, here he comes with that damn camera. But eventually, fast forward, I did like an internet radio station for a while, and we were doing a radio show, which is, I later learned that the term is podcast.
Right.
So I noticed most people were tuning in during the show time. I'm like, everyone has their access to their own music. They don't need me for this. So I dropped the radio station, kept the podcast running, and it's been popping ever since.
No, it's really good. Like I can tell just like listening to you that you've been on for a while, because there are people that still do the podcast. There are people that do the podcast thing and they're still like struggling to find their footing. Like, I don't know. Like, every time I watch your show, it's always like you've already started. So you're already like getting into it where I watch other shows, it'll start like this. They'll sit there and they'll be like, are we live? They'll be, oh, that's right. Yours isn't live. So you don't have that problem. But other shows that are live, they'll sit there and be like,
are we on?
Are we live? Yeah. Okay, hey, we're live.
I see a light. Is it on?
Yeah, we're live. Welcome to our podcast. This is us, asking stupid questions.
Now, if you had something like that and you're not live, then that's just lazy.
Yeah, you got problems.
Facts.
I don't want to cut that out. I'm not.
No, you know what? That's a strategic technique. I've done live before, and I'm not against it. Hence, we're live right now. But there's a lot of intriguing topics that come up on my show, and just so you guys know, I don't take anything out, but I just love having the option to do so. Right. If it does go way somewhere, I'm like, I'm gonna have to take that part out. When you went down that road, that was a different road.
Right. No, it is an interesting thing because we have to watch what we say,
Indeed.
Even though we kind of say whatever we want, there's just certain things that we can't put out there. Like I can't say something that you could say around your friends or the boys that would not be okay.
Indeed.
And people are like,
it's a magical world when it comes to terminology and,
right.
And like you said, politics, religion, all that good stuff.
Right. No, absolutely. And it's crazy. Like, like when you say something, it doesn't matter like what you say, but if people know that you say something offensive around your friends, then they get mad at you. Like, oh, how could you say that? Well,
sometimes context doesn't matter as it should, sometimes if you you take a little clip and you're like, what the fuck? But then if you hear the full thing and how that came up and why it was getting talked about, it kind of helps. But at the same time, in this era, nobody wants to hear the full clip. They're just like, you said it, you said this, you're done. So yeah, we don't rock on live. But for the most part, I think I've been running like 3 years, and I think it might have been one time that I had taken something out because I had a guy that was talking about, every once in a while when he has to slap a woman to teach her a lesson or something.
Fuck. What the fuck?
I was like, yeah, we're gonna take that part out.
We're gonna like not talk about that. I feel you, because when we used to do the podcast, so we started in 2016, and then we took a 2-year hiatus.
Okay.
So we came back this year. We took a 2-year hiatus because I was burned out, and we were getting some new co-hosts. Like, we've gone through a shitload of co-hosts, and it's crazy. And at one point, my ex-girlfriend became pregnant, so I was becoming a dad. and we were going to start our family. But now we're single parents, so I can focus on this. And 2019 happened, so that's when we started this again. But I can say there was a podcast we did with 2 female guests, and they were talking about how guys would send them dick pics just randomly, like unsolicited.
Yeah.
And they brought that up, and then they spent the next 15 fucking minutes just talking about dicks, just different sizes, different colors, like just whatever the fuck you can think of. Just 15 minutes just about dicks.
Yeah.
And I know this because I had to edit it out. I'm like, oh my God, no. And I told them, like, y'all know how much shit I edited out of that damn podcast.
you had to deal with more Peter than you ever.
We're just talking about Peter pictures.
Bruh, like we recorded an hour and a half, and just from that conversation alone, 15 minutes were gone.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
This episode was a lot shorter. There's a reason.
Yeah, I think that was literal there. Now you know what? It's funny you say that because I just hit. I'm just now about to go to hiatus. The episode I just did, it won't be 2 years, but I think I might chill for a month or two because it's been like I produce as well, so it's like music, podcasts, interviews. Because the interviews are not the same as the podcast. Like when I do interview, like the Deacon Rap, that's like just me and him talking about what he's got going. Then we actually do the podcast when it's like this, when we're all there doing a podcast. So I'm just like, yeah, it's a lot of shit going on. I'm gonna pump the brakes and just sit back, eat a bologna sandwich, pour something magical in my cup, turn the Xbox on every once in a while. I just had a big Xbox session.
No, I don't blame you for that one. We're actually gonna go on we're calling it our season finale.
Same.
But it's fucking on hiatus.
Yeah, same.
But we're gonna do it for like 2 or 3 weeks. It's really rough on me because I not only like run the like they're my co-host, but I do everything. Like I'm the producer. I'm the one that like has to maintain everything because my computer can handle it all at once.
Yeah.
And so like there are days where like my anxiety will kick in, or I have to do something with my family because like my parents are like, hey, we need your help with this, we need your help with that, and they don't really give a shit about my podcast. So
yeah, of course.
So it's like
that's how that normally goes.
Like like it's really crappy of how like family will not like. Even my ex-girlfriend didn't support the channel. She's like, I'm like, babe, you ever watch my show? She's like, no.
Well, like, the funny thing about this is it's kind of like until people see some sort of success, and you may or may not ever see it, and I may or may not ever see it, but at the same time, I try to look at it not like like a garage band, or because it can kind of get looked at like, oh yeah, a bunch of people sitting around talking about action figures and video games or whatever. But at the same time, you take it serious. You're trying to actually do something with this, and you think or hope that you have the support, from family and friends. Like I can pull my analytics, and when I pull it, I notice I'm from Mississippi. I don't see people from the homeland tuning in. So I put a check mark by their name when I say, hey, have you listened? They're like, oh yeah, I think one time. Or I'm like, full of shit.
For real, no, I can lies. So when I started the Geeks Forever podcast, all of my friends were like, they didn't really like see anything with it.
Yeah.
They didn't see anything on it. Like nobody believed in the podcast. So
there you go.
On YouTube, because we were strictly YouTube at first. And in 6 months, less than 6 months actually, we hit 100 subscribers. That was our goal.
Boom.
Because with 100 subscribers on YouTube, you get the custom URL.
Boom.
And then in a year and a half, we had 300 subscribers.
Boom.
And
come on now.
Like we were doing really well. Like in the last, I want to say 4 or 5 months. I want to say 5 or 6 months actually. We started doing the podcast again. So we were at 800 likes, a little less than 900. We're at 1,200 now. We're at 1,200 followers, not likes, but 1,200 followers.
Amen.
So we've been doing really good.
No, yeah, I salute that, and because me and you were sitting in similar chairs, so I know what it's like when you, because I'm the one doing the editing and this and that. Because I will say, I don't know if you guys always done Zoom, but COVID has been slightly a blessing in that part, because my crew was coming over and we were plugging all the mics up and doing all that stuff. And then I would run back and edit the episode. But see, the cool thing about Zoom is, it's there, the video's ready to go, and it's like shit, it's done.
Oh, that's actually really interesting. And quick shout out to our to one of our followers, Dandelion.
Yo,
Hey man,
Hey,
shout out.
Shout out to Dandelion. Believe it or not, when we first started doing the podcast this year, again, we started doing video. Like, what if we do video? Let's do video. So, okay. We started using Facebook calling.
Oh wow.
We did Facebook calling, and there were some people that just were not comfortable with it.
Indeed.
So, we did Facebook calling for like 3 months. And then we decided to go with Zoom.
You went down the right road.
Zoom is a lot better. Like, we've actually had some, like, thanks to SJ, we've had some voice actors, like, from Transformers.
Oh wow.
And so like we're working on getting like voice actors. Like we're working on getting some of the Power Rangers. We're working on getting the guy that plays Dean Winchester from Supernatural.
Nice.
And we're working on getting other people here, but it's a lot of work and it's a lot of time. And people like, and the friends that didn't follow or take it seriously at first, now they're kind of jumping on that bandwagon. Like they're either starting their own channel or they want to be on our channel.
Yeah.
Or they want to be involved in some capacity. Like, oh, like, hey, can we go with you to this convention or that convention? I'm like, no.
See, when you have, and the funny thing about it, when you have some level of success, and it doesn't have to be, oh my gosh, Drake is coming on the show or some crazy shit like that. But just when it's just someone that, you know, that has something going for themselves or just has more followers or something, that's when, you know, they lower their glasses just a little bit.
And it's like that meme where it's like, hey, I'm making my own business, and like they show the that stadium where it's like only one person. I'm making my own business. I got the job, and there's like a whole row of crowds and all that.
Facts.
I've seen that so many times. I'm like, in a way, I'm not gonna like. I kind of don't want to throw my people under the bus, but like whenever I say, hey, I got this role for like this voiceover, like 50 people like it, but I was like, oh, here's a YouTube video I made, only like 5 people like it.
Indeed. Well, I'll help you to throw them under the bus.
we are great at
no, but no disrespect, but like for me, it's like there's some people I know who would be like, oh, you know, if I started streaming, only one person's gonna see me. While meanwhile, there's a chick who shows cleavage will get like 300. And I'm like, dude, why you gotta look down on yourself? Like, if you know, you could say about, oh, you know, you only get 2 views, but you know, those 2 views, that's something. You know, you're actually, you know, if those 2 people find it entertaining, you know, that's something. You know, you know, you got to start off small. You can't just get all popular overnight just like that. You know, that's not how.
And some people do get popular overnight, but good for them at the same time.
Right.
Well, you know, that's why a lot of people think that it works that way, because there's these guys that it exists, like you said, they're like, oh, you know, I started my podcast and I put 1 episode out and it got 1 million downloads on the first time I ever put it out, and I didn't even know what I was doing. And then, you know, somebody else starts one and they say, oh, I got 3 listens. I guess I'm stupid. I'm going to jump off a building. Like, no, hold your horses. Take those 3 listens, keep cooking, keep stirring that pot. You know, and it's a slow cook.
Slow process, yeah. It's like it's like the tortoise and the hare, slow and steady, you know?
Yeah.
And that's so crazy that you bring that up, because a lot of people, and I have friends that when they start something, they start streaming video games, they start doing blogging, they start podcasting, no matter what it is, they get discouraged right away. If it's been 3 months since I started and I only have like 4 listeners.
Like, yeah, that's normal.
Like on the podcast, like it's been pretty slow lately, but like normally we would get like 15 to 20 people, or we would get 200 views.
Indeed.
You know, but we're closer to the holidays, so it's starting to slow down, and you know, like people are going back to work or whatever. But the thing is, I'll also do video game streaming, and I'll get like 1 or 2 people to watch. As long as I can get 1 person to watch and come listen to me be dumb, you got to keep at it. You got to keep going, because it just takes one. Like there are some days, and this is for anybody that wants to start doing anything. There are some days where I'll stream and nobody's on the fucking stream.
Yeah,
I'll be
you
sitting
just gotta
there,
run that motherfucker.
You gotta run it. Like I'll be sitting there talking to myself like a fucking dumbass.
Run that motherfucker.
Hey, I do that for free anyway.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something too that may help people feel better, because I know a lot of other people with podcasts. I know a lot of people with YouTube channels that do music and stuff. There are websites and there are people that you may have heard of. We may not even call them people. We'll call them bots. And people purchase they purchase these services that make them say, oh, I've got 1 million downloads. And a lot of times you begin to look at yourself and say, oh, I've got 3 downloads. This guy is cool and I suck. Well, this guy paid the fee. He got all his comments on Instagram. He's got all his downloads, and you think he's going to be the next Joe Rogan. Well, when his debit card does not have the balance that he needs to pay for the next episode, how do you go from 1 million downloads to 12 downloads the following week? You're full of shit.
Exactly. No, I know that firsthand because Facebook has that pay a fee, and we'll put your video above everyone else's. So I did that for like a couple videos, and they got like 1,500 to 2,000 to 3,000 views.
Yeah.
And I have one video, and it got like 80 views. So I already know like firsthand that, oh yeah, you can buy your views.
Yeah. And you know what? I've done it. I won't lie. I've done it before when I first started. And the reason I didn't like doing that is because like, I think it was like it wasn't long that I had started, and I had like some video that was like 5,000, and then the next one was like, I think I didn't have money to buy another, and I was like, dang, I got to do this every week. And then it was like 12 downloads, and I was like, this looks crazy. And then I was like, also, if I'm doing that, I don't know who is my audience, because if your audience is bots, then you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know who's listening, where they're listening from, because it's probably just going to say, all these other countries and stuff like that, because it's all bots. So you're going to look at it, it's going to say, oh, you're popping in Afghanistan. I was like, well, of course, it's bots.
Right. Yeah, there's one viewer in Thailand.
Like, yeah.
and
that's actually somebody, though.
That's the crazy thing about the whole download things. We were on Spreaker, and one of our videos had like 10 organic. These are organic downloads.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Really? And I was excited. I was like, that's cool.
Facts. It feels better when you know it's real,
Right. No, it does. It feels a lot better. And it was a video about me bitching about Capcom making a shitty Marvel vs. Capcom game. Like, y'all made this bullshit game with this collector's item. It looks like a bunch of fucking Easter eggs, and you're calling them Infinity Stones. You got me fucked up.
I have those too, if you want me to just show you what they are.
A lot of those games are full of shit now. A lot of games are pissing me off now because I miss the old days when you used to win something that made you want to play again. You're like, oh, now you can play again with this new weapon. Now it's kind of like, you beat the game. Thank you for your time. I know you've been pissed off for hours. Enjoy your evening.
Now, like, the one thing I can't stand is battle royale games.
Oh, what's your thing with this?
Because most of them are free, and when you start playing it, and everybody's been at it for like a year, you just suck.
Oh, yeah. I have a technique that I used to do. It doesn't work as much now, but there's a lot of games that I was late to the party to, and let's be clear, when it comes to the video games, I'm a motherfucker. But it's if it's something that I've been playing. Like, I've been on Tekken my whole life. I've been on Mortal Kombat my whole life. There's some games that I've been on, but then games like, I remember when Call of Duty first started popping. By the time I got
hold on, before you say anything, I got something to show you.
Oh, right. Go for it.
Time for the tour.
Time for the Goku tour.
Once per guest.
Call of Duty.
Oh yeah,
on PS2, the first one.
The first one, the first fucking
OG Call of Duty.
Well, you might be offended because you might be one of the people I'm talking about when I say this. Well, the first time I jumped in Call of Duty,
I'm gonna stop you right there, sir. I'm gonna stop you right there.
Go for it.
I am too brown and poor to be offended by anything.
Yeah. With that being said, I jumped in on, I think it was Black Ops 2 when I first, and it wasn't because, I had games. I just wasn't really fucking with Call of Duty like that. So when I first jumped in, I was like, oh, I guess I'll just try this shit out. They beat my motherfucking ass. And children were saying, who is this gamer tag? He's a piece of shit. This is the first time I felt something moist in my eye. And I was forced to walk to the game and press that big white X and walk off slowly and say, I'm going to watch cartoons tonight. And then I found this technique. It's called, you go play the game that's not as popular. because you can beat their ass and you got the time to train. So I said, fuck Call of Duty. And I said, what do we have here? Titanfall. I was like, everyone's not playing this. Next thing you know, I heard children crying in the background. And I said, yes, Velvet is back on his shit.
Oh, no.
My self-esteem came back.
I'm a persistent dude. In high school, they played Yu-Gi-Oh, and I kept going after one of the best player at Yu-Gi-Oh in our high school. He's my best friend now. He's one of my best friends. We've been friends since God knows when.
Indeed.
Dude, I just kept playing him and playing. He kept handing me my ass, but I'm persistent. I will come back for more, like, because I would get better. Win.
Yeah,
because I would get better.
And you know what?
I finally beat him.
Well, first off, I gotta give you some credit.
That's a victory right there.
Because right now I've been playing Streets of Rage 4 on Mania, and I'm on the last stage, and I'm saying a lot of cuss words. Before this happened right before I came on this podcast. Actually, I almost was late because I was like, one more time. And we all know as gamers, no one wants to turn the game off on a bad note. You like to win and cut it off. Well, I cut the game off on a bad note, and it's back there, ready for a good royal cussing out after this episode. Tell it a piece of my damn mind. Persistence is the key.
I am very persistent.
That's sometimes me with Crash 4 now, because Crash 4 is challenging, and it's really hard. It's like no, I want to get every gem and not die. I want to get every box.
This is what makes me mad, though, because, and I'm sure y'all are going through this too, we're all adults here. I don't have the time that I used to have. So I used to go down this road that I'm ashamed of. It's called the punk bitch road. When I get a new game and it says, choose your difficulty, and then I wipe a tear from my eye and I click easy. And the reason I do it is I'm like, you know what? I can handle hard, but I don't want to play the same stage 100 times screaming cuss words. This is supposed to be the time that I have peace. But every once in a while, I get convinced that I'm like, you know what? We're going to go to hard mode. And most of the time it works out well. But today on Streets of Rage 4, it has pissed me off. So we're going to have a conversation.
A little rumor, too, regarding Streets of Rage 4. There's a rumor that they may add Sonic in as a DLC character.
Oh, nice.
So there's like some rumor about it.
I can picture that.
But here's the thing. The reason why I'm persistent is because I kind of base I try to be like Goku, like to the point where I like the challenge. Like I see more of a point in losing than I do see it in winning. Mm-hmm. Because if I lose, that just means that I need to make myself better.
So you're trying to go Super Saiyan back there in that
right?
room.
No, yeah. I even when I did fighting professionally for a while, I would rather withstand. I want to fight someone better than me so I can find that challenge. Like I want that challenge so I can rise, pick myself up and make myself better.
So you're speaking into your life when you're playing video games. You're having a deep experience.
Well, no, it's about competition. I'll cuss too. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, mother, you sack of fuck shit, you mother. And I'll start cussing in Spanish.
I'm a but control it down your fucking throat.
I would rather like play someone that's at their best and improve myself.
Right.
How long can you lose before you say, not that you're gonna
this game?
Yeah.
Bro, there's an entire hour of me playing video games just losing left and right. And me
when Mario 35 be a recent thing?
Mario 35. I'll sit here and play that game for like 4 hours just getting my ass handed to me.
Well, okay, what is the worst boss of all time? I don't know if y'all discussed this before.
No, okay, so I was playing this game called I'm looking at my fucking games. Hold on. Oh, Fable 2. So this fucking game, bro, like check like this shit, like I'm going through hell and high water. I'm fighting fucking demons that are flying and shit. I can't even fucking touch them.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm getting so fucking frustrated, dog. I'm about to throw my fucking controller on the floor. I get so fucking mad, dude. I'm yelling, I'm screaming, I'm fuming. I got to take a fucking I don't even smoke and I had to take a smoke break.
Oh wow.
So I finally get to the final boss, bro. And the guy's like, I'm going to steal these. Like, he's going to steal the hero's powers and you have to stop him. So I shoot this fucker with a gun.
Yeah.
And he dies. Right away, he falls into a pit. And I'm thinking, okay, I just shot him into the pit. He's gonna come up as a dragon
Yeah.
or some kind of demon or monster. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. The game ends.
Oh,
I cussed so much at the game because I went through hell, dude. I went through hell, and I was expecting like the boss fight better be fucking worth it.
You know, it did. I think that's how it was when you get to Joker on the Arkham Asylum or something. It was one of those that it was just like not worth a damn. But a lot of games are doing this now, where the hardest thing that you come across is not, not the main boss. It's just like,
right.
Well, you should have been the main boss. But we've all had that moment. I've had that moment when when you get the game controller.
Oh, I have a question though. What is good when you call it like the hardest final boss? What is the most disappointing final boss? Like you're expecting more from.
I just told you.
Okay, I'll give you one. Breath of the Wild.
I haven't played the game.
Had like the most disappointing final boss in the whole game.
I'm thinking about one. I'm gonna let you guys cook, but there are a few.
Actually, I got a question for Sonic. Why is it that Sonic the Hedgehog is like the fastest thing alive, yet he can't catch Dr. Robotnik, who's an obese white man?
Fat white guy is running away.
Well, I think
Sonic
it's because
tired.
maybe Sonic, because if Sonic was fast, he probably would just kill him on the spot. But maybe he's like it's like the whole Batman Joker thing. Like he can't kill Eggman. He's like, there's no purpose.
I was
like,
watching this video
I can't kill him.
where Sonic was
I
chasing
can't kill him.
Sonic was chasing this fool, and this man was Naruto ninja running past him.
Yeah, he always be Naruto or Ninja. You can even spin dash just ahead, and he'll still fucking outrun you.
Yeah,
to his
I know the
robot.
part y'all talking about too. That's
Sonic 2.
Yeah, Sonic 2.
Sonic 2. Yep.
I think it's right at the end before he gets into that the big Dr. Egg thing. I'm like, what the fuck is
The
this?
Death Egg, yeah.
No, for real. When I saw that as a kid, I'm like, God damn! I didn't know he had the Death Star with him.
Well, you know what? I'm not to change the subject, but I need a confession. What is the game that you should have beat, but you've never beat it? Because I will confess, I never beat Sonic 2, and I'm upset
Shit,
about
where
this.
to start with me?
Well, I'm a natural quitter, so most of the games.
No, I have.
Yeah, same.
I have a natural. I
Same.
have a problem where I'll be playing I was playing this game called The Witcher,
Oh yeah.
and I was getting pretty far. I was doing all the side missions. I was getting far in the story, and my dumb fucking ass bought a brand new game, and
Oh yeah.
and I didn't touch The Witcher for 6 months, and then I went to go
Yep.
play it again. And I'm like, I forgot how to play.
Yep.
Oh my god, that happens a lot.
Yep.
I hate when that happens sometimes. It's like that happened to me too. Like I got this game. It was at Walmart for like $5. It was Indivisible. This game called Invisible on PS4. And I was playing it, and then it was worse convenience because it was at the same time the new Tony Hawk remaster came out. I was focusing on that, and when I went back to Indivisible, I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot how to play."
I forgot how to play.
Another rule I do too is I don't play games that's like similar at the same time, like because that fucks me up with the controls too. Like I play Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row or something like, or Tekken, and then you take Tekken out and then you put Soul Calibur in, and it's like fuck.
I've
No,
never
twist it
finished
up.
any of the Grand Theft Auto games.
What?
I have never finished them.
The only I'll admit
I never started them.
The only one I finished was 5.
No, and I'll
Yeah.
tell you why. The game's going great, and then we get to a fucking mission where you have to street race, and I'm like, God damn it, I hate racing games.
Yeah, I promise. Well, me and you see the eye to
Same.
eye on that. But you know what? I normally deal with it on the race because on most games they always do this. That you at some point, if it's a game where you drive, there's going to be a race mission. Once you beat that mission, they'll say, "Oh, if you'd like to come back to this guy and do time trials," I'm like, "Okay, I'm not coming back. I just did
Yeah.
that one because I had to, and
Bye,
now you won't
motherfucker.
see me again." Yeah. And I
Bye,
just
it was
leave
nice
it.
knowing you.
Like,
Like, I'll get you next time. Like,
No,
'cause
you
I'm
won't.
I'm over the achievement part of my life because, like I said, I don't have that much time, so I just beat the game. And when I beat the game, it says, "Oh, you're 40% done." I'm like, "No, fuck you. I beat this game.
100%. Gotcha.
I'm not gonna find the egg behind the building and all that other crap. I'm just
You
gonna beat
find
the game.
all the cell phones.
Yeah.
No.
The files, the recording tapes, and all that crap. Fuck all that.
I'll just go watch YouTube. I'll
No.
let them tell me what they say.
Driving games to me are the drunk driving simulations.
Oh no, like the one
I drive
driving
for real
game
life.
that
I don't need a fucking game for that.
if you ever decide that you want to play another driving game ever, I recommend one. like this game.
If it doesn't start with Transformers, just stop right there.
No, I recommend Midnight Club 3 on the PS3.
Got it. Midnight Club.
Midnight Club is a
Midnight
great racing game.
Yeah, I don't know why that's the one. I think that and Bully is what is like bring those back. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bully was tight.
Bully was cool.
Well, I mentioned it before. Like the only driving games. The only driving games I have are Transformers.
Which
and I can't drive
giant robots.
Those are giant robots.
That turn into cars.
Yeah, but they don't race.
Or a helicopter. Yes, they do. They have time trials.
Why the fuck do they race? They're robots. Cheat.
It's part of the mission. It's missions and side quests and all that bullshit.
What's the mission? To piss me off?
Yeah. So all y'all hate racing games?
No, I like racing games.
I drive every day. Why the fuck do I want to play a game that drive?
Right.
I want to
Mario Kart.
I don't fuck with. Yeah, I play Mario Kart and those goofy games like that, but the real racing games.
Oh, like Project Gotham and all that.
You play Mario Kart if you're ready to fist fight somebody. Like, nah.
Especially if you're motivated, because there's a bar downtown here in Houston. Like every month they used to do like Mario Kart tournaments. Like the first place winner gets like $100, and like the second place gets 40. But it's like 150cc, with items, and only like 1-2 people, like best 2 out of 3.
That's exactly what you want to do. Put a game that already makes you fight sober in the hands of alcoholics.
Hey, you'd be amazed how people look buzzed when they play that game. They're like really massive. They're like
driving backwards.
Yeah, in reverse, and they still win.
Nailed it.
Right.
Oh, fuck. You need a world record for that shit.
Well, clearly I'm just like bad at it because, like I said, I've got that game, and I can understand it. It's got the joystick thing, so it's like, well, clearly I'm like I'm doing these micro movements that are making me veer this way and this way. So, like I said, I'm driving like I'm drunk. But I've also got the game on DS or one of my old DS or one of my old Game Boy games or something. That's how old my shit is.
Oh, shit.
And all it is that D-pad, and I'm driving straight. Motherfucker's still going this way and that way. I'm like, what is this?
Because there's a curve in the road, and gets it to turn.
We have some comments we haven't addressed yet. David says the Joker from Arkham Asylum was a bad boss fight.
It was.
I
vaguely remember it, but yeah, it was kind of bad. I was like, there were a couple ones.
Pachinko says Monster Hunter previous games have difficult monsters. David also says most annoying game is Dead Rising with the beeper going off all the time.
Oh man,
yeah, I remember that shit.
On the first Dead Rising, are they all like this? Like, if you don't beat it in a certain amount of time, it's
they're
like
all. I think
I hate
only the first two, only the first 3 are like that. The fourth one is a little bit more lenient. Like, it'll give you the mission, but it'll like, hey, whenever you have time, go save this guy before he turns into a manwich.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie about this. I'm gonna tell you two things I don't tolerate. There's a few games that do that. They're like, if you don't beat the game in this time, then you start the whole game over. And I'm like, oh fuck, I'll put another game in. We're not gonna do this. I don't tolerate that, and I don't tolerate invisible enemies. I hate that shit. Like when it's like, oh, what hit me? It's like, oh, it's invisible. Even when Resident Evil has it every once in a while, I'm like, fucking shit.
You're gonna be invisible. At least do that weird shimmer thing where I can kind of see you.
Yeah. See, I don't mind that, but if it's just flat out invisible, I'm like, this is pathetic. I don't like that. It's not even difficult. It's just making me mad.
Whoever made this game is an asshole.
They save money on animation. It's like, well, just won't show them.
You just they don't have a health bar, so you don't know. You're like, y'all are probably cheating anyway. I could have swore I did more damage than this, but
where's that bag of flour item I had? Found you.
Bag of flour.
You're invisible. That fucking shit all over you.
Here's a better question. Since I don't, you probably don't talk about a lot about geek stuff or video games, but what is a shitty video game you have played?
Oh boy.
Oh
yes.
Driver.
Do you want to start with the A's or the Z's?
Bruh, I got some shitty video games.
Man, what?
And I'm looking at myself, and I'm looking at the game right now. I'm like rethinking my life.
4 copies of Dragon Ball Fighters.
That's actually a good game. That's part of Evo.
It's not
Dragon
4
Ball Z
games
for
worth.
Connect.
Actually, Dragon Ball is the reason why they no longer have Marvel vs. Capcom at Evo.
Yeah, because they made Marvel vs. Capcom look like shit.
Yes,
I'm just saying you don't need to buy 4 copies of the same.
Hey man,
game.
don't be telling me how to live my life. There are people out there
making other poor decisions.
They're making shitty, poor decisions.
Oh my goodness. You got my mind kind of boggling here because boy, I've come. And the thing about it, I think the reason I don't remember them well is because like when I play a piece of crap, I do give it a chance. But when it surpasses a certain level of BS, I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm just like, I'm not. I'm trying to think of a name though of one.
Delete it from your mind. It's like, nope.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, this is.
I don't need the memory of this.
Because back in the day, like with Sega, I remember like you could just walk in the Blockbuster and stuff and just grab a game and say, "Oh, this looks cool." Now it's kind of like you better do your research.
I miss Blockbuster.
You better do your research.
Yeah, like there was some games. There's like you rent it for like a weekend, and then like when you return, you like the first thing in the morning, it's like I'm returning this shit on Monday. Fuck this. This game is not worth the fucking.
I don't need.
You pick a shitty game and it ruins your weekend. Like fuck.
Yeah, I think it was like the Angry Nerd. He talked about the story like when he once rented Rambo. He was so excited based on the cover, and then when he played the actual game, it was like fucking ruined his summer.
I rented that stupid game on the Sega Genesis, the one with Flipper on it. Echo.
Echo. Dolphin. Yeah.
I rented that shit. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was just swimming around as a dolphin.
You saw a dolphin, and you're like, "Fuck yeah!"
It's Flipper.
But you know what? They didn't back then. They didn't have as much mercy on us as they do now because a lot of these games they have like, just like even Resident Evil, you're gonna find an ink ribbon, or you ain't gonna get a save. If you don't got an ink ribbon, there's no save. Now it's like, oh, you could save it anyway. And
with the fucking
like to turn around, you have to go in a full circle.
Yeah, like all the games was having no mercy on you. And I remember Shinobi 1 and 2. It was like if you get hit, you die.
Even Sonic 2,
times.
like even Sonic 2 in the final boss, you had no rings. You had to face two bosses.
Yeah, no rings, and it's like if you get hit, you die, and that's it. Too bad.
You got.
I don't know what to tell you. Hell, when I finally beat Contra, it was like back, right when emulators first came out and stuff, and I had an emulator, and I went back and I put one of those codes on it. And I played straight through. And then once I found out, I was like, it's only 6 stages. I was like, they didn't expect us to beat this. And I was just like, oh, you know what? They're not going to beat it anyway. They'll spend their whole life beating it. That's why they did us like that.
I think
assholes.
I'm trying to think of a shitty game that I played, like that I remember.
Michael Jackson Moonwalker?
No, I never played that one.
Was that the 2D side scroller one?
Yeah.
No, okay.
It was awesome.
I remember now. So nobody remembers this game because it was like they made an X-Men 3 video game that was the prequel to the movie.
The movie tie-in.
And it sucks.
What console?
It was PS2 and Xbox.
Oh, it was X3, the video game, the official game.
Yeah.
X-Men 3, the video game, has Wolverine with the claws out.
Yeah.
And it's not the same as the movie. It's supposed to. They made the game to tell you why Nightcrawler isn't in the movie.
Oh yeah, basically the way to write him off and all that.
Right, and so you have to play as Iceman. You have to control him with the joystick, and he's going wherever the fuck he wants.
Well, it's like they also made that X2 Wolverine's Revenge game. That was not too bad.
That one wasn't that bad, but the third one just blowed.
The blood. What do you thought of the X-Men Origins Wolverine game?
No, actually, Terminator Salvation sucks.
The game.
Yes, the
game. You should have knew better. What made you play that game?
I don't because it had an easy platinum trophy, so I played it.
Yeah. But to be fair, that they have that Avatar game, that last Airbender game, that's like 3 trophies, and you got a platinum.
Terminator Salvation sucks.
It sucked.
There's a stage where you have to kill all the Terminator machines, and one of them glitches very often and gets stuck on the wall, and you can't fucking shoot him because he's stuck on the wall, and you can't progress until you kill him. So you're just stuck.
Don't play anymore. Okay.
That's the shit that pisses me off. I also hate when that happens, when it's like it's nothing about your skill. That's when the game is saying it's not you, it's me.
Right.
It's like you get there and there's nothing that can be done.
It gets worse. It gets worse. This was so early on in the game. You had to start all over again if you restarted.
Yeah.
You're not at the save point yet. It's like,
you weren't at a save point, and this was 15 or 20 minutes into the game.
Oh hell! You know what? Yeah, that's gonna piss me off. There's a lot of games that do that. Like they'll have like long between checkpoints. I think they're getting it now. That's why it's like checkpoint. I'm like, yeah, you better, because I'm.
And then the final boss was shit. Like the final boss is you're killing some random Terminators, and then you have to run in a straight line for 60 seconds, and that's fucking it as you're getting shot at.
Don't stop.
Hell
Oh,
no.
Okay.
Now that sounds annoying.
Oh no.
It was one of those games that it even though it says Terminator Salvation, it doesn't. It's before the movie. It's supposed to fill in some gaps. I'm like, this game sucks.
Most movies, as we know,
Movie
that has
time
anything movie game, it just don't work out. Like,
Actually, if you really think about it, movie games are almost extinct now.
yeah, and there's a reason.
I bought a shitty Iron Man movie game because I loved Iron Man. It's like I want a game. I gotta get the game.
But you know what? It
beat
sucks
that
both
night.
ways.
Yeah, this is awful.
Because I remember when they tried to make House of the Dead the movie. Like,
Making a
'cause
video game movie sucks too.
yeah, both ways is just not good. And that was,
Do you but do you by any chance remember Street Fighter the movie?
oh man,
cool
dude!
one?
Oh my
With
gosh!
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Did you know they made a game based off of the movie, which is already based off of the game?
Yeah.
Street Fighter the video.
Oh my
Street
gosh,
Fighter the
yeah.
movie, the video game, and it plays just as bad as the movie looks.
Is this like? Well, you know what? I think I've seen that back. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Mugen.
Yep. Mugen.
I am.
When I used to do Mugen, I used to be addicted to that real bad. I remember running across some of those characters to put on Mugen, and I was like, where did this come from? And I looked it up, and I found out that happened, but I didn't look too much into it. But I remember running across that. I was like,
For those
what's
of you
Blanca
that
look like this?
For those of you that don't know what Mugen is it's a modded fighting game where it has no characters in it, whatever. You download the characters you want from the internet, from like forums and whatever. You can add any character from any fighting game, as long as somebody has the file available to you. And it's kind of like you're creating your own fighting game.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, though, there were too many characters that were unbalanced. They had characters which people called the god characters.
DB Ka. I remember. I still have him. He was one of my favorite characters.
Like
Man,
they had
Evil Ken was so souped up.
They had
Omega Tiger Woods.
They had Super Saiyan 5 Goku that spoke Portuguese.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sephiroth.
I once had a match, and then also sometimes you would have an ability where like you could watch them fight and like you don't touch anything. I had one of Sonic that was like fucking OP. He would only speak Japanese. Like every time he knocks you out, he just taunts at you. He goes, "You're too slow," but in Japanese. Every time he kills you.
Yeah, Mugen was the shit. But if you knew how to manipulate Mugen, you could like make it. You could be an asshole because you could power people up better than others.
I had one character called Nega Peach. It was an evil version of Peach from Super Mario Brothers, and she would have these lightning bolts that would come out of her.
Yeah,
and it pissed off all of my opponents.
It sounds familiar. Like I know I had a Majin Buu that was like a motherfucker. That it was it was a motherfucker, and Evil Ken was a motherfucker when I had
Evil
him.
Ken and Evil Ryu were motherfuckers when you put them together, but there was this girl called Dark Athena, and she had like these angel wings, and she would murder everybody.
I remember Dark Athena.
It was fucking great. It was fucking awesome. Mugen was great. It's kind of dead now, but it was amazing back in the day.
See, I started one time. I thought about getting back into it, but I try to purposely avoid things that I know I'm gonna get addicted to, like because that's why I play games like like Left 4 Dead or something that you could just jump in and jump out real quick, because that's why I stay away from the Fallouts and the something that you're just gonna be like, this is my life. It's bad enough I play The Sims sometimes, and I try to tone it down.
I play.
You put a plate in front of the door, and they're like, "Let me in."
No, we were talking about video games, and this comes as surprising to a lot of people, but I actually like NCAA football.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that yesterday.
That's shocking.
I'm a big fan of NCAA football because I played football in high school.
Okay.
And I really hated when people were like, we were talking about this yesterday, but I really hated people when people say like, how come you play football video games? How come you don't go outside and play football? And that's when I said, like, this is what I say yesterday on the podcast. Well, from now on, I'm going to be like, well, why the fuck are you playing fighting games? How come you don't go out in the streets and start fighting with somebody?
Facts.
I'll go play real football when you fight me right now.
That's
right. Go in a bar and throw a Hadouken at somebody.
Why don't you go out there and start a fight with somebody and see how you come out?
Boom.
Because I've seen some people fight and they cannot fucking fight. So I'm like, nah, you about to get your ass handed to you.
Well, everybody thinks they can fight until it takes
Well,
place.
I mean, if you come from the streets and you fought on there's a difference between somebody that's trained to fight and somebody that's been in a fight.
Yeah, this is a fact.
I mean,
this is a fact.
Because in the streets, the rule is the streets always win. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Craig should have told you this when he hit Debo over the head with a trash can.
That's right. I would have hit him over the break too. You think I'm gonna play fair? I'm Mexican. If I followed the rules, I wouldn't be in this fucking country right now.
There you go. I come with sound effects and all.
That's right. So no, I do want to talk a little bit more about your channel, man. Because
talk about it.
All right. No, I really appreciate the fact that y'all talk about some hard subjects, dude. Y'all talk about like y'all were talking about like some political subjects about voting and why it was important and some of the other stuff. And I really dig that, man. That's really like, when you started your channel, was that what you were aiming for?
Well, the interesting thing is, I try most of the stuff, to be honest, is just goofball conversations, but every once in a while I'm like, okay, let's talk about something serious. Like when we're doing my podcast, it's just, like I said, it's hair grease, it's this, it's that. Then every once in a while it's like, how is your mental health? Do you think voting matters or not matters and things like that? What is this, what is that? But every once in a while we bring up hard conversations because one, you're going to get some good content and context and you get to know us better more than yeah, have you ever farted when you were drunk? Like sometimes you're like, okay, let's actually talk about, have a conversation about something. So yeah, that's what takes me down that lane. I don't want to only be in that lane because it's kind of like, just like, I guess the fact that I'm somewhat balanced, we could talk video games, we could talk politics. That's how I'm able to come into a space like this versus I don't want to just be like, oh, he's a political guy. I'm like, whoa, I'm not your go-to guy. we dabble a little bit, but I'm not that guy because I think I might start getting invited to the different type of lanes that I'm like, okay, let me just confess, I'm not the spokesman for this.
Right? No, I can appreciate and I can understand and appreciate that because when you like, I don't know, you can be honest with me, but when you think Geeks 5 Ever, you think, oh, they only talk about anime or comics or Avengers.
Indeed.
So we have other interests too.
Right.
No,
So
I like that. I'm seeing that here being on there.
Right. So when we talk about geeks, we talk about anything and everything that people can geek out over. Music,
Facts.
Sports, wrestling, UFC, comics, anime, movies, video games. If you can geek out over it, we'll talk about it.
Gambling.
Cosplayers.
You're actually pretty smart for going down that lane because the way you're describing it, it makes a lot of sense because it's like geek. When you hear that word, you're like, oh, comics and anime. But when you say it like that, it's kind of like, yeah, we're all a geek about something.
Whiskey geek,
whether
Lonnie.
it's
Whiskey geek.
Lonnie Robinson
cars
says,
or whatever.
Happy Halloween, whiskey geek. No, yeah, like alcohol, vitamins, all that good shit. I mean, that people think, oh my God, they're geeks. They don't party. They don't drink alcohol. They don't do shit. They're boring.
That motherfucker.
Ever been to a head shop?
That motherfucker.
A lot of wheat geeks there.
That motherfucker will just go to the con, buy $300 worth of shit, go to his hotel room, and go to bed. Hell no. You know how many hotel room parties I've been to where the cops run in there? The police.
Next thing you know, you turn around and
everybody is not white. Hands up.
There's power interest and everything. No, that's dope. That's dope. I here lately I've found a interesting thing that's been going on with the conversations we're having. I've been finding people from opposing sides, and it's been making the episodes a lot more spicy. Like
opposing sides to what?
A couple weeks ago, I had a crip, a black Trump supporter, and a white comedian. And
that sounds like an interesting.
Yeah. So
that sounds like a beginning of a
what
setup
episode
to a joke.
is this so I can go watch it? By the way, Lonnie says Alex is straight edge.
I am super white.
Indeed.
I'm so glad it's not 5-minute delay between chat. Jeez, thanks. Thank you, Lonnie. That's interesting. What episode is that so I can go fucking watch it? Because that sounds like.
Yeah, it was let's just say I didn't have to do too much hosting. I said, here are your guests, and we're going to talk about it. And motherfucker, listen to me. It was like WWE, the whole rest of
cutting
it.
promos and all that shit to each other.
Yeah,
talking smack.
Yeah, I just throw a little question in there, and then they began to scold each other again, and I'm like, oh, this might be fun. I don't have to do too much hosting.
It's crazy because like being the way I am, like in our community, because we have a lot of anime fans.
Uh-huh.
They're into like Japanese music, like J-pop or like the theme songs
K-pop
for
and
anime, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very funny to see
like
their
it's a bad thing.
reactions. Huh? Good.
Y'all say that like it's a bad thing.
No, it's just
no. But I'm getting to my point.
Okay.
It's very interesting and funny to see their reactions. Like, oh, what do you like, Goku? Oh man, when it comes to music, I like Linkin Park. I like Drowning Pool.
Metallica.
I like Metallica. I like Disturbed. I like Eminem. I like Dr. Dre. I like Ice Cube back in the day. And they're like, what the fuck?
You like music? What kind? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Same.
Yes.
Like, you
That's
like
weird.
rap, hip hop, and rock and metal? Like, that's weird. I'm like,
Man, you know what? We on my list, we can go all the way from 3-6 Mafia to Phil Collins,
Radio Disney.
There you go.
Red Hot
Radio
Chili
Disney.
Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's me.
I love, dude. I've always like, I will always hype up Dr. Dre. I will always hype up Eminem. I will always hype up Tupac.
Indeed.
I will always hype up Snoop Dogg.
Indeed.
Like those, like, I can argue with you all day. Like, if there was a Mount Rushmore of hip hop and rap artists, like definitely
Snoop Dogg
Dr.
would be
Dre,
up there.
Tupac, Snoop Dogg.
I'm about to offend somebody already.
Who you got?
I'm just sure when you get music, it gets real spicy, especially about that stuff.
And that's the crazy thing, because I can't talk to you about politics at all. The way I see politics is I'm going to vote for the individual that's got my best interest at heart.
To be honest, I can't either. I just know people that can, and I just say, "So you believe in this, you motherfucker?" And then I just drink.
But I will argue with you all day about music. Like I like Machine Gun Kelly more. I'm like, the fuck? Oh hell no! And I'll pull up my debating table, and I'll be like, I have a dream that people will forget about Machine Gun Kelly because he's a fucking bitch.
I'm gonna throw you in a hip hop group where it gets kind of you're gonna get some spicy words coming your way later on tonight.
What's up?
No, it's a group on Facebook where they basically call each other punk ass bitches and things of that nature.
Sounds like
Your
every other
opinion
day.
is wrong.
That sounds like that's what me and my friends call each other all the time, punk ass bitch. And that's the crazy thing. Like growing up, it's like, oh man, look who like get out of here, you punk ass bitch. And
There you go.
And my homeboy's leaving. He's like,
and they're punk
and they're
ass
leaving.
bitch.
And he'll be leaving. He's like, man, fuck you, you fucking fat ass motherfucker. I'm like, fuck you too, you stupid fucking retarded bitch. And then as soon as they leave, man, I miss that guy. He's such a good guy.
Oh yeah, we had a conversation.
I miss that motherfucker.
We talked about this on my show one time. Dudes, we don't give each other compliments. Our compliments come in the form of insults, and it's kind of like, oh, look at you with your fucking stupid hat. And we got we got Jace here, and he's like, oh, thank you. He knows that that's a compliment.
This is a lovely hat, sir.
Yeah.
I'll have you know, this hat was very good. It was $2 at the store.
Yeah,
I got it after Thrift Smart at the corner.
Whatever comes out of my mouth, it comes with some subtitles that say something else that says, oh, he enjoys your hat and he would like to know, where did you buy it from?
Translate it, yeah. It's like, man, look at that stupid ass hat. Where'd you get it?
Yeah.
I know, because like we were doing a dating game panel, and my homeboy goes up there and he starts talking. He's all like, oh shit, man, we was about to roll up and them honeys was coming up, and then these fools came up and they was being busters, and then they were all up in our grills and our Kool-Aid, not even knowing what's going on and shit. And then all the people are staring. I'm like, let me translate from hood to English. Hold up.
There you go. Slide it right over.
It's like, he said that he is glad to be here and he wants to have a good time. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's not what he said. But
The scene from Airplane where they're translating jive.
Yeah. Oh,
like
you're
that.
right. Lonnie says best song by that guy. It's not by Machine Gun Kelly. It's by another guy. But the Thrift Shop song, I like that song.
Oh, that's Macklemore.
It's
Macklemore. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, that guy. What happened to that guy? He faded off real quick, huh?
I think he got he tried to get like not political, but like personal rights and beliefs, and then they just like blacklisted them. They're not gonna put them on stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on with Yellow Wolf. Once he started going on with his Confederate flag and etc.
Oh my God, he's
yeah,
one of
then
them.
Once you're in your personal beliefs, we don't care.
Yeah,
That's how the music industry and everything else works.
That's the thing, though. In this this is the only country, and I want to I don't want to get too into this subject.
Yeah.
But this is the only country in the world where people will fly the fucking Confederate flag. Like in Mexico, they don't. That shit. Yeah, like one, you're not gonna fly that there, but we don't see it at all. Like it's not visible. It doesn't exist. We only see the U.S. flag. When it comes to this country, we only see the U.S. flag.
Well, there's a lot of stuff of that nature that I think when it first off, we'll just say I'm from Mississippi, so you know what I've seen in my day.
Yeah.
but it's a lot of stuff.
If
like
it makes
that.
you feel better, when I go on road trips, I stop for gas before I enter the state of Alabama.
Well, you know what? I was born in that state, and I try to skip that one as well. It's kind of magical over
I
there.
don't stop. I don't need nothing. I don't want nothing. I got gas before I entered the state. Thank you very much.
Pull up the
I
windows,
used the
lock the doors.
bathroom before I entered the state.
Yeah, these are the facts.
I put on a blonde wig just to be safe.
He's incognito. Good work.
Undercover.
You know what? I need you guys to keep talking. I'm gonna drop a photograph that you can share with your listeners if you want to.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
It's it's gonna let you know what kind of magical life I've lived with a blonde wig before. You guys carry on for a second.
Yeah. The comment, or just the comment, Phil Collins on YouTube. When people finally discover Phil Collins.
Isn't Phil Collins that old angry white guy that's always saying "fuck this" and "fuck that"?
No, that's Chris Collins.
Okay, cool.
He's the guy who sang the songs for Tarzan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
In the air
I
tonight.
knew it was a guy with
yeah.
the last name Collins.
And then also South Park made fun of him because Phil Collins won an Academy Award over South Park. And they just made fun of him for it.
Like, we got nothing else planned today. Let's just make an episode about you.
It's like, you and me, we're going to do a race in Phil Collins Mountain, and it's Elias' forehead.
He used to be in a band called Genesis. It was like an 80s rock band.
Yeah.
I think it was.
And actually, they made I don't know, recently, like, he got viral because these two, like, brothers listened to it on TikTok, and they were reacting how good the song was, the In the Air Tonight. They were like, oh, this shit's fire. I'm like, really? You guys never heard of this before?
These Gen Zers.
That song gets sampled so
and,
often.
and also Gen Z is the same people who didn't know Eddie Murphy sang a song. That song Party All the Time.
Yep.
He sang a song?
Yeah, it's in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He did. That's right.
Party all the time.
Party all the time. Party all the time.
That was him?
Yeah, that was him. I was shocked too. I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
Didn't know that.
Another fun
Thanks,
fact.
Grand Theft Auto.
I think Rick James wrote the song too.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
He wrote it for him. If you check your inbox and if you can hold your device up if you want to, Jesse, there's a magical gift that.
Would you like for me to share it with the podcast?
if your phone is going to be visible, but it's a magical moment.
That is the beauty of OBS Studio. I can actually share images live directly on the podcast.
Oh, this is amazing.
All right,
when
we
you
are
were
going
talking...
to. Hold on. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Just give me 1 second.
It's a man of integrity.
I am a man.
Okay, while he adjusts that, what was your question, SJ?
Well, no, I thought you were going to say something different in that when you were like, this is the only country. Like, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm not going to like argue about that. I will say this is like the only country where normal people are like, freedom of speech, First Amendment bullshit. But if a celebrity, like a sports player, the music stars, or anybody in Hollywood says anything, they're like, just shut up and do your job. It's like, last
you
I
can
checked,
say
there's
whatever
still...
you
Oh
want.
no! In Mexico, you say something bad, they'll kill you. they'll fucking hang you from a tree.
Yeah, I bet.
The fucking when I was like 5, the town that my dad's from, they hung the mayor from a tree.
The mayor?
The mayor.
Fuck. It was this cartel or anything of this nature? Or are you unaware?
Yes, it was.
He-
For those of
he
you
was
that are
voting
not,
for the
for
wrong-
any of y'all that are watching the podcast on your phones or whatever, I sent the image up, so it's up there right now. It's
Can you send it in our messenger? So
Yeah,
we
I'll
can
That's
send it
kind of
for us?
scary.
Yeah, like that's the beauty of going live and with OBS Studio. As a producer, I can actually segue into showing the picture during the podcast, and I can share it.
This was if I ever get famous, I'll probably be canceled in the future due to that. But
Can't believe you did whiteface. Oh my god.
And no, I don't think so because it's kind of different. Like, here's the thing, and
I had a classmate that did that for Halloween.
I don't mean to get really serious or like change the tone, but my sister, she's taking a psychology class and it's not the same one that I took. It's very, very different.
Mm-hmm.
So it was there, and they said something that spoke to me in like so many levels. Like, if anybody of any race commits a crime, that entire group of people are penalized and hold accountable for the one individual's actions.
Indeed.
But if a white man commits a crime, it's just him alone.
Yep.
These are his actions, these are his decisions, and only
Indeed.
he will be held accountable.
Indeed.
So I think
Indeed.
that really spoke volumes. Because,
It's go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, like, there's like they explain to like if somebody of color does something that is normally frowned upon from a white man, it's not as impactful or as bad. Like, there are certain words that if you're a person of color that you can say that a normal like a normal white man can't say.
Indeed. Which I say just get rid of them altogether.
Right. No, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
Yeah. And this is why we live in a strange world. It's funny because, I've noticed, especially with, and we don't have to go down this wormhole too far, but I've noticed with just the lane that we're in, this world and stuff right now, and it's not new, but anywhere I am, it seems like it's like, hey, what are your thoughts about? I'm like, I'm just chilling, man. I'm just chilling. Like, we don't have to go down this. I don't have to be the spokesman for this, but I know a microphone comes to my face just for walking the dog. It's like, hey, what are your thoughts about this? Like, nope, I'm just chilling. I'm going to eat my bologna sandwich. And I'm not going to go down that road.
No, I'm like, what are your thoughts on this, Goku? Okay. No habla inglés? No.
Exactly. I think, but another side of this dark coin we're discussing is, I think it's besides the internet, it's just people are more like, maybe the internet is what did it, but a lot of people are more open to tell you. Like, you remember back in the day with politics, people would be like, who you're voting for? That's my personal business.
Right.
Now it's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm flying a flag, or I'm going to tell you, or we're going to post it online, or people just walk up to people and
but that's a double-edged sword though, because people have become more vocal, people have become more resistant more aggressive and resistant towards their choices.
Because either they're open about who they're going to vote for, or they're silent because they're worried about the repercussions. Like, I'm going to vote for this person because of my belief on how they benefit me.
Like, honestly, like, I don't like to say his name. We call him Senor Cheeto Puff on the show.
We know who this is.
Yes. We say Senor Cheeto Puff, and I for the love, I don't care what people say. I don't care about his. I, for the love of God, can't vote for him.
Yeah. But does it make it real, kind of spooky for the choices that we have? Because you know what I think?
A bunch of old whites.
Yeah.
No, and I said that, and I'm very vocal about that shit. Like, I posted this as a status update. I can't believe we're all fighting about which rich white man is going to run this country into the ground much faster.
Do you think not voting at all is a better? Because a lot of people are saying that. Oh, I'm just not going to vote at all.
I don't think so. I think you don't have to vote. Lonnie says, but why? I have my reasons, and it has nothing to do with his policies. Even though I do agree that some of his policies are very bad, because I don't want to get too into that.
Yeah.
So, but I have my reasons. And honestly, and to answer your question, Lonnie, I don't like Biden either. I don't like Biden. I don't like the JoJo lady. I don't like Trump.
She's the worst.
I don't like the other guy. I don't like any of them because they all have really bad policies.
Doesn't I don't know why it's weird for me to say this. Why does it's kind of weird now I brought it up. Why does the Senior Cheeto Puff's vice president look like he reminds me of Cotton Hill from King of the Hill, but taller?
He's Cotton Hill if he had his shins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you should then vote.
Honestly, to go back to your earlier question, I think it's important to vote because we're not just voting for the president.
Right, you're voting for a lot of different positions. So
You're
if you're
voting
not gonna
for a
vote,
lot
you're
of
being lazy.
a lot of the voting on the ballot is for local stuff like judges,
Yeah.
Things that they're trying to like
Yeah.
what are they called, bills or like
Yeah,
Like-
propositions,
right.
bills, laws, any just other stuff too, like also representatives, local Congress, local judges.
The stuff that does
education, too.
affect you every day.
There's a
is what
used
you're
car
voting
lot,
for.
and Lonnie, this is what I have to say about this is my answer to your question. Politicians are like diapers; they need to be changed often.
A lot more often than they are.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. This man has spoken the gospel today.
But that's why it's also important to vote more regularly, more frequently. Like
If you're
it's not just the every 4 years for a president. There's also every 2 years for like our senators, and like you said, especially now we're coming up with you have to vote for your judges and your district attorneys and all these. And there's actually a bunch of like little jobs that you never even think about, and that can lead one day to somebody getting up to senator or possibly even vice president or presidency. So you really have to pay attention early on in your local elections, who's coming in and who's going out, and what they mean and what you're willing to work with.
Yeah.
I mean, there's never going to be a perfect candidate. I don't
President's
think.
going to be shit no matter what.
And like SJ's
But
right.
it's like
When it comes to a local level, you do need to vote. Your voice, when it comes to a local level of voting, your voting actually counts for that because there is no electoral college for local voting.
Indeed.
It is direct. And like, you got to understand that when it comes to voting, you're voting for your community when it comes to local.
I got to give you some credit. You have more in this area than you thought you had. You sound like you're preaching from the right pulpit.
I'm what you call a forward. I'm forward party. I'm not Democratic. I'm not Republican. I'm not independent. I vote for the political party that has my best interests at heart, and I believe that all parties are to blame equally. There is no one better. There's no one to blame more than the other.
I think we are in a since we are in this era of humor, of memes and things like that. I think that's another reason this gentleman he won. Because I think there's people that actually, of course, there's people that actually wanted to vote for him.
They put Harambe.
But yeah, that happened, and that's proof that it happens. But I think there was people that just thought it was funny. They're like, let's just vote for him and see what happens.
I think the meme culture also hurts it because there were people like putting on the ballot these nuts and Harambe and
yeah.
But those are jokes. If you go by the percentage and the number of people who did that, it doesn't sway enough, especially in electoral college for
in
president.
one state. These nuts had 14%.
Yeah, they did.
Should have gotten
daily reminder that they
In
wasted their
one
vote.
fucking state, someone put in these nuts on the ballot, and it got 14% of the votes from the whole state.
Well, this is to let us know how close we got to having a scrotum up there.
Hello, for John Eagle. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Commenting from YouTube.
Fact June Eagle.
Yes. So I don't know. You probably I didn't tell you this. So we're live streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook at the same time.
Pretty cool, huh?
No, I like that. I salute this.
So you might see the viewer like, oh, we don't have that many viewers on Facebook. We actually have quite a good number of viewers tonight, and they're from YouTube and Twitch.
And man, the gospel's coming through.
If
Tell
anything
about
from
it.
Lonnie says, if anything from college taught me something, is the second party system is super broken.
Oh yes.
I don't want to get too into I know we talked about politics a little bit.
I'm not gonna get into it.
No, I'm not. When I say I don't want to get too into politics, I don't get into my politics. I don't tell you why I vote this way or who I voted for, or why like who do I support or whoever. Like, because I haven't said I support Biden. I've never once said that I support Biden.
I've learned this. When you bring something up and you say I don't want to get into it, it's like little specks of more things that keep inviting you into the conversation.
Right, but like whenever I say I don't want to talk about it, I don't give my perspective. Like,
yeah, I feel you.
Like people think, oh, he's bad mouthing Trump, he must vote for Biden. No. I never once in any of the podcasts say, hey, I'm voting for Biden. No, I never said that. Am I
As you can
voting
see-
for Biden? I'm not telling you. Am I voting for Trump? I'm not telling you either. Even though I don't support Trump, maybe Trump's policies make more sense to me than Biden's.
You know, I've said that before. That I think that's what's shocking people, and not saying you will or won't or who will, but I think there are some people that's not rolling with the Senor Cheeto Puff that have, after hearing about Biden, it was like, well, I don't know, and and I bet that's why it's a interesting space right now.
Who I actually have, I do have some people that I politically do not agree with, or I would never take sides with, are McConnell and Pelosi. Like, those are two of the fucking snakes in the grass that I will never support.
Is McConnell turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
And Pelosi, if Pelosi's not getting her hair fixed, she's not fucking happy.
Yeah.
So, like,
That fucking
that's the
senator
only
for, like,
time I've
60
really
fucking
gotten
years.
political about that. But like, I'm so sick of them. Like, I'm so sick of their shit. Anyways, I digress.
Like, comment is politics is why I drink. Drinking is also why I drink.
I drink because
Drinking is why I
I
politics.
drink
There you go.
because I can't talk to anybody unless I get lit.
I call it politics and politricks.
Politics, and I call it Paula don't give a shit.
Allah Abdul.
There you go. Boom. Straight up now, tell me.
Man, you guys just gave up on that.
It's a lazy joke. We're not.
Yeah.
So when it comes to your channel, like, you've gotten so much, you have so much going on with it, with the guests and the episodes that I have seen that are really, really interesting because they can be pretty intense.
Oh yes.
And you had the one where they were talking about voting.
Yeah.
It was that episode that made me realize, I'm going to look into it more. And I realized that, when it comes to voting, yes, it is important, but on a local level, it's very, very important.
Yeah, it's more important than that. But sometimes most people just vote only for the presidential.
Right. They'll
thing.
they'll pick a president and then they'll cast their ballot.
And that's it. They wouldn't bother checking out the other things.
That's the one that
So
you shouldn't
like
really
your
bother.
your episode actually inspired
Everyone else.
that for me to look that up.
Well, I'll let you know that no one's chopping onions when you see moisture in my eyeball. And
Also because too, and another thing too is like, especially this year, like a lot of early voting. There's like a huge turnout for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like the last few days, I've been seeing like a lot.
Yeah, because nobody wants to go when the lines are packed. Fuck that. We got COVID.
No, but like compared to years before, like previous years, like early voting, there was like little to no people, but now there's more.
I think it's because the increase also in polling places.
12 days
That's
says
it.
Lonnie here.
The
Lonnie here,
one-
but I think we need to drink more seriously to decide a candidate.
The one good thing that I will actually attribute to this fool being in office is that it is inspiring more people to go out and vote. Because I know a lot of people the last couple of times were like, nah, I'm not really going to put my 2 cents in because what does it matter? Da, da, da. And
Like the
this
South Park
just
episode.
showed, this just showed like, no, your voice actually does matter.
Indeed.
Don't ever think your voice doesn't matter. You have a right to say in whatever is going on in your life.
Indeed.
I don't like the way this is being done. You always have the right to voice a complaint or even like, I like what you're doing. And more people need to say both sides. Like, I like this, I don't like this. We need to actually be more vocal about that.
Yelp
And-
reviews can prove that people enjoy talking about the bad and not the good.
People will always
Yes.
bring up the bad of anything
They-
that you ever do.
Everybody.
They teach you that, in like when you're like a manager of stores, like that's why you give a customer everything they want, because a customer has a bad review will tell 300 people. But someone has a good time, they'll tell one.
Yeah.
But that
Right.
person had a bad time is going to tell fucking everybody. It's like, oh, don't go there.
Right.
Facts.
Tell everyone
Facts.
there.
But that's why me especially, I try to be, unless something really does just go wrong, I try to be really polite to the people that I see, because they're working hard as it is. They're probably getting like
And they can put feces on your
shafted on.
burger.
They can do
Yeah,
that.
it's like
too.
that. It's that South Park episode where the Yelp thing, like, what was like everybody says they're food critics because they want free food, and
Yeah.
then like Wilson Willie's had enough. He's like, "Fuck y'all, hell no, you're not even a food critic. You're a fucking mechanic."
Facts. You know what though? Reviews piss me off sometimes though, because especially when you're trying to get something good, like if you're on Amazon and you're looking for like a laptop or something, and then people are talking about stuff that it don't got nothing to do with it. I'm like, is this a good laptop? They're like, there was, it came 2 days late. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Is it good?
Oh, no, and you know what? Sometimes, to me, I look at bad reviews whenever I'm researching an item because I'll look at the details of their review. Like, okay, why is it bad? Tell me why.
Is this emotional?
Is that okay?
I
they
open
actually
the box
talk about the
upside
item
down and everything fell out.
Yeah, no. Well, they'll talk about the item, and I'm like, okay, no, wait, and I'll read the description. Like, okay, you're either stupid or it's something that I can live with if I'm gonna buy the item.
Facts.
My waffle iron couldn't make pancakes.
Seriously, no, seriously. Somebody bought like a computer part or something like that, and they couldn't, and they installed it wrong. Like, oh, I did this, and somebody had to explain to them in the review, like, no, you did it wrong.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh,
stupid.
That happens a lot.
And he's like, okay. Then he changed his review. Like, I love this item, but he didn't change the star rating.
But you know what? That's why another thing. I do look at bad reviews, and if I see a lot of them, it does get alarming. But I'll read the reviews, and I'll go watch like video reviews on YouTube and hear people do the unboxing. And this is how.
If it has a 4.5 review, I'll do it. If it has less than a 4.5, I need to research it and look at reviews.
And I do this with video games too. When I see like 7, 8, 9, 10, I'm confident.
If it's a 6.5 and above, I'll do it.
Yeah, and I was going to tell you, I do deal with 6.5s only because there's a few games that people say they suck, and I'm like, I like it.
Because you got to understand that reviews are perspective.
Yeah.
Like,
but now when a game gets like a 2 and a 4 and stuff, I'm like, I don't think this is opinion.
If it gets anything less than a 5, I don't even look at it.
Yeah, I'm like, no, this must suck for real. This is not an opinion. 2, there's no excuse for that.
There was a game, like the Terminator one got like a 2, and I was like, I can't believe I'm playing this shit. And then I played it myself, and I realized no wonder it got a fucking 2.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. 2.
Yeah, that's how I got there, because I was trying to find what is the number where I can just still try it and have my own opinion. And I think 6.5 is some of the ones that I played and I liked. Dynasty Warriors, I love to play that game. It always keeps getting bad reviews, but I keep fucking with it.
The reason why Dynasty Warriors gets bad reviews is because it's
repetitive.
It's very
a smooth brain game.
Yeah.
No thinking involved. Button mash, go in a circle, you're fine.
I'm sorry, but Fallout 70, 12 Dale, who's also Lonnie, says that Fallout 76 got horror reviews, but it's great now. The problem with Fallout 76 is that it was shit when it came out. It shouldn't have been shit.
It's great now.
That should never be the case. It shouldn't come out unfinished and then become great later on. It
aged like wine, but like that box, it was box wine.
It should age like wine, not like cottage cheese.
It's like milk.
I mean, if anything, too, like it's to the point where some reviewers have to like update the reviews, like, hey, this is our 2020 review version of like a certain game that came out. Yeah, they always.
And it pisses me off.
Well, you got the review of like, this is my first impression review. This is what I have. This is the review after a year of like hardware. It's a different thing.
Yeah, but here's like, for example, Fallout 76. They did when it first came out, and then they had to do another one for the newest update. It's like, oh, here's an update for the update. I'm like,
this is
okay,
for patch 6.
Yeah, no, it went from a 4 to a 7.5.
Yeah. And I'm like, why? If anything, that should have been what the game should have came out in the first place.
So I went from a kick in the dick to a punch in the face.
To a punch
in the face.
Well, we definitely don't want to kick in the Peter. So.
Fuck no. You got me fucked up. You ain't kicking me in the dick.
Yeah, and then make me pay for it too. Like
that'll be $60.
No,
you can pay me another $30 for the update, and then I'll punch you.
You know what? I just thought of a game that did upset me a little bit. World War Z. Did y'all play that game?
Really? You don't like it?
I didn't play the game, but I saw the movie, and I was like, that doesn't.
I didn't know they made a game over that.
No, they have a game, and the game's actually. Wait. Before we talk about the game, you didn't like it?
No, I actually like it. It just pissed me off because the replay value.
Oh yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like Left 4 Dead, I still play that to this day, and it came out in 2008. And World War Z, like I had lost my mind trying to get this game. I think I was causing arguments in my household trying to play this game, and then once I played it a little bit, I was like, all right, that's enough. And I was like, hey, I didn't expect to do that so quickly, to just kind of tuck it in the "thou shalt not play this game" section.
Well, it's
tucked
because
away in a dark corner.
World War Z is not a bad game. It's a great game. It's a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead.
It's a great game.
But unfortunately, it gets too. It's very straightforward and straight into the fucking zombie mobs right from the get go. Where Left 4 Dead has a randomizer, so it's random. Like you could start off the game and the fucking horde will come right away, or you could start the game and like they don't come until like halfway through the stage.
Can you inject yourself with polio? That way they don't attack you.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Damn, that was my plan.
Damn it.
No, you're like, oh, you're just going to go to the fucking... Because you're in a mall in the beginning, so you're just going to go into one of the stores and... Got polio here for sale.
You can probably find AIDS there, but probably not going to find
Excuse me
polio,
there, laddie. Do you have some polio here for sale?
Definitely going to find
I would
that.
like to inject myself and hopefully to avoid some zombies.
Oh my god, how'd you avoid the zombies? I ran to the bathroom and looked
I
toilet seat.
injected myself with AIDS. Unfortunately, it's going to hit me for the rest of my life.
Good grief. Yeah, you know what? It's a dope game. It just... And the thing about it, like, it's one of the few games that, like, every gun seems the same. Like, they look different, but when you shoot them, it's like...
Yeah, it's the fucking same. Yeah, I noticed that
have
too.
one mechanic for it.
And I get another gun.
Fire.
That one and that Ghost, not the last Ghost Recon, but the one before that. I think it was Wildlands or something. Damn it, those guns pissed me off.
That one was way too fucking slow, dude. Like...
Yeah.
I couldn't play it because they walked everywhere. I'm like, God, this fucking game is pissing me off. It takes forever to get anywhere.
Yeah, you know what? I don't mind. Once again, time is of the essence for me. I don't mind travel, but I do appreciate fast travel. And I think on there, I think it was there, but it was only certain spots you can do it to. So there's a lot of time when you're just driving for a long.
Let me explain.
Oh,
to
good.
Somebody.
A driving
you get in
simulator. In my fucking war
You get
game.
in the vehicle. It's like any other game. You get in the vehicle, you drive, you get there within a couple of minutes. No. In this game, you get in the vehicle and it feels like you're going the fucking speed limit.
Yeah. It feels like you're actually traveling because like there've been times I was going somewhere for a good portion of the time that I was playing, and then I do a mission or two and I'm like, oh, I guess I need to turn it off.
Like you're getting there in real time, like because you're like, ugh.
You're actually out of gas. Like, what? There's gas here.
Oh, Gillian. Lonnie says Gillian says hi, Alex.
Jillian. Hi, Jillian.
Sorry.
Gillian.
My bad. Whatever. Mexicans.
Jillian's Island.
Jillian's Island.
Jillian's Island.
So,
Gilligan's Island.
So, just some last minute questions about. So, when it comes to your show, like you're going on hiatus, do you have like a big season premiere going on that you're planning for, or is it just like business as usual?
Well, no, you know what? When I come back, I am gonna make a whole ordeal, and that is to come.
I think the mic's the other direction.
To come. No, but the episode that I ended on, which I need to check my Dropbox and make sure it's in my presence because I have it. Y'all don't have it just yet. But when I drop it, I did tell y'all a little bit about we got a guy to confess that he's been rubbing women's butt cheeks down with hair grease.
Jesus Christ. That never gets old.
Yeah, we did make that happen, and that did make me proud. And he did make some other confessions of what types of things he does when he rips his pants off at nighttime. So it is going to be an interesting episode. And for some reason, people just like to share things
like
with
that
me.
reminds me of my homeboy who at Delta, they've heard the story, but you haven't, so I'm going to share it anyway. Our homeboy, he shows up late to a gangbang at one of the anime conventions. They're running a train on a girl.
Oh,
and they already started. So he knocks on the door. They open it. His pants are already on the floor. He's like, I know what's going on, and I want in.
Did they still let him participate?
Well, he when he knocks on the door and they open, his pants are already off. Like he's already like lower half naked, and like he's like, I know what's going on, and I want in. And the girl's like, okay, I guess. So he breaks.
They didn't depart for that.
He breaks the number one rule when it comes to a train.
Talk about it.
The number one rule, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to look directly into the camera. Ladies and gentlemen, the number one rule when it comes to a gangbang is that you never go down on the individual that you are running the train on.
Yes. And he went down this road?
Oh, yes.
Well,
steam ahead.
And then he bit her.
Oh, he treated her like supper.
He treated her like an RV sandwich.
You know, it's funny you say that because I know some people that have gone down that road. And then the next thing you know, they take the girl out the next day and they say, I want you to become my girlfriend, which is kind of intriguing after you saw what your pals have put their nunchucks all over her body.
Oh, this is a sad story because they ran a train on her. There was a guy following her that was in love with her, and they ran a train on her, and he knew about it, but he wasn't invited in the room.
So and I'm sure she's still telling him that your love is almost there.
No, she rubbed it in his face and then friend zoned him.
Well, I know how he got there. This is one of those situations.
Like, oh, well, shit.
He didn't pull the trigger.
No, she just didn't want to be with him.
How much did he buy?
Yeah.
He was one of those guys like, I like you.
Oh, the guy from Hey Arnold breathing over. Yeah.
Oh, Brady, but then Helga punches him in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Except the only difference is they ran the train on Helga.
Yeah.
It wasn't Arnold.
It was a different timeline.
And he said, "Hey, Arnold."
No, I kind of felt bad for that guy, but at the same time, I was too lit to give a fuck. I was like, "Whoa, that sucks, man. I'm gonna go over here and get drunk."
Man. Have you tried DMT?
Have you tried like going to another room party and bitching there?
That's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy. For real.
That's tough.
I've seen people in my day that they go chasing after someone, that someone goes into the other room and they hear all the sound effects that come with that, and they just wait in the other room. And say, yeah, and they say, "My love is growing."
So only make us stronger.
And that's the thing, though. And this might sound fucked up on my part, but if I'm talking to a girl, I'll only talk to her. I don't talk to other girls. Like, I was talking to this one girl, and I went to a convention, and I met.
So you got over your slut time in your life.
Yeah. So I made friends with this other strange girl. She tried to hold my hand, and I pulled it away, because even though I'm not dating the girl I'm talking to, I kind of feel some kind of like loyalty to her.
It's a dirty touch.
Yeah.
No, but they're like, oh well, I'm not really interested in dating. As soon as she says that, bye. I move on.
Oh, so you're more proof of what they've said about us gentlemen these days, that we're going down the other path, that the women are slapping us and calling us the B word and telling us, "Look here, I've got other whores to attend to," and we're like, "But honey, I need you to look into my eyes."
No, because the thing is, like, here's the thing. I'm 32 years old. I have a daughter. And I don't like playing games. Like, if she's not interested, she's not interested. We can be friends. We can hang out. Nothing wrong with that.
Facts.
She needs me to be there. I'll be there for her. I'll still talk to her. I'll still be friends with her. But I'm not going to be like, oh, well, you friends on me. Let me still drool all over you and buy you this and that and take you on dates. No.
Oh, so yeah, I see what you're saying. You let's get to the point. Is this going anywhere? Yes or no? No. Okay, cool.
Like,
handshake.
Are we gonna start dating? No. Then because I can go see that blonde chick over there. I'm about to go start talking to her.
Now, if she declines, will you go in her presence to someone else, or would you wait until, just say y'all are out somewhere, and she says, and this may come from my experience in podcasting on my end, you're out somewhere, and you say, "Honey, as I look into your eyes, my soul is setting on fire." She says, "Mine is not setting on fire." You look to your left, and you see someone twerking in your direction. Do you approach this twerker, or do you just say, "I can't do it because I don't want to break your heart"?
If we're out, like if we went out together, that's one thing. But if we're just in a group with friends, yeah, I'm gonna go
put your signal light on.
If it's a group hangout and we're all hanging out as a group and we're not there together exclusively, I'm gonna go hit on the fucking twerker.
He's got the open sign on. He's like,
but if I'm there with her, like if I invite her to dinner, I ask her out and she friends with me during the date, I'm at least going to finish the date. I'm going to take her home, drop her off, make sure she gets inside safely. Then I'm going to drive back to talk to the twerker.
Yeah. and are you going to make sure that her heart is in the right place, or are you just going to express yourself?
Well, the way I see it is this. Like, she friend zones me. She says that she only sees me as a friend or, like, whatever, that it's not going to go anywhere from there. That's fine. I can live with that. If I see her talking to another guy, or if she starts going out with another guy, because this has happened recently. I was talking to a girl and we're just friends now. And she's like, oh, she was telling me about her boyfriend. She kept talking about her boyfriend. I hope I'm not making you like sad or jealous or anything. I'm like, no, I don't give a fuck.
She thought she was too spicy. That's a problem already.
I'm like, bro,
you got an F on your report card.
I'm already talking to somebody else.
Already got an F on a report card.
Are you shitting me? Since you friends on me, I done talked to 3 different chicks.
There you go. Hit a donut out there in that bitch.
Like, bro, you know how many dates I've gone out on since we like stopped talking? Like.
A man of integrity.
You're not gonna wait for me? No,
and that's the thing though. Like I'm like a lot of girls like, oh, you're very straightforward or you're this. Because I tell them like, look, if I date someone, I want to date someone that I can have a future with, maybe a family. We don't have to have kids, but I have a daughter, and I gotta look out for her.
Facts.
And I don't want to just date around because I'm 32. I'm at the age where, like, yeah, I like to fuck around, but I'm not really about that life anymore.
You know what they say? So once we get in our 30s, they say use your nunchucks while you can before before your mana, you run out of mana. Once you run out of mana, it's a wrap for you.
Well,
No more.
You buy a weird car.
Here's the crazy
That
thing about
doesn't
that.
happen to guys.
It doesn't.
No more hula hooping.
Okay, so with guys, yes and no. Like we can reproduce, we can shoot our shit forever, but
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you look down and you notice it has become a gummy worm because it's passed away.
right. Right. Fortunately, I'm a person of color. We don't really have that problem.
Because you know what? It's funny.
Mana's a blue potion for a reason because you get a blue pill for that.
Right. But Viagra is actually not that. It doesn't sell that well in like Central America.
Well, I'm not in Central America.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right, cracker.
You know, this dude told me though. He said, the day that his Peter passed away was the day that he became a free man, and ever since then, I don't know if I admired this. Because he said now he has this new power where he's able to have a conversation with a woman that he doesn't have a goal or anything like that. And he's able to compliment people on a nice shirt. And that's not code for nice, you're shaped like a capital P on a sheet of paper. He's basically just giving an actual compliment. And I'm like, this is interesting.
The thing, I don't know if you ever heard of this, but you know how there's people that are asexual?
Oh, I know somebody like that.
Well, I'm what
30.
you. I recently discovered that I'm.
You're
what
down
you
with
call,
this?
No. Hold on. Let me just. I'm what you call demisexual. Demisexual means that I can't have sex with somebody that I don't have a connection with. It doesn't have to be love, but it has to be some kind of like connection, like friendship or something like that.
So have you not done the one night stands in your day?
I have.
Were you not fond of them?
No.
Yeah. No, I could get that. I think I might have a sprinkle of that in me. I think during my slut days, I think that's probably what kind of helped me to say you must now depart, because the connection was not there. But once you find that,
I get attached. Like if I have a one night stand, I kind of get attached to that person.
So don't share your genitalia with them.
Yeah. Because I have this mental problem where I remember everybody I've ever done it with.
Oh, wow. This is a power. Maybe you're an X-Man.
That's a quirk.
I mean, I do too, but it's probably because mine's just a smaller number.
I don't remember their names. But yes, I used to be a hoe. I would go to the club and like every fucking weekend I'd hook up with somebody different.
Have you ever pulled a sheet of paper out and said, let's go over these details?
No, I was too drunk for that. I was like, listen.
We've all done it.
Like because I go to this club, it's called Numbers, and it's mostly white girls there, so
you pulled a lot of numbers there.
Yeah, unfortunately got to the point where I started it started going full circle, and I started running into people I've already hooked up with. I'm like, this is getting pretty bad. I gotta stop coming.
I already got that whole punch. Hold on, let me find someone else.
Yeah,
I was getting to that point, and it's so crazy though, because there were a couple of women that were married. There were a couple of women that were married. They were like willing to hook up. They're like, oh my god, if you were.
Do you feel a sense of guilt with that?
No, because a parent, like if they're willing to cheat, that means they're emotionally not attached to the guy for some reason.
Which means you should not give him your nunchucks, right?
And I was about to give her my nunchucks, but her friends cockblocked. No, and it's I don't like to talk about my hoe days, but they do exist.
We're glad to know that you're a man of integrity now. We're all humans of integrity now. I don't know if Dr. Sonic, looks like he's looking off.
That's
at
what happens.
right now.
I feel like God
he's watching wrestling right now.
I feel like because I was a hoe, God punished me.
No, I'm still listening. Don't worry.
No,
I thought you were on an intriguing website in the background.
No, he listens, but he also watches other things in the background. I feel like God's punishing me. Like, oh, you decided to be a hoe. I'm gonna curse you with a beautiful daughter.
Yeah, they basically gave you a brochure. It's like, so you're doing hoe stuff.
Oh, so now you're gonna.
So
feel
you've been
like
doing
how
hoe
these
stuff.
girls' dads feel.
Oh my god.
And I mean, as long as she's 18 and she uses condoms, or even if she's like not, I don't care if she wants tattoos or if she's into chicks, or I don't care. She's my daughter and I love her. She's less than 2 years old.
Indeed.
And I already like whatever decision she makes, as long as they're her decisions, I respect them.
Well, but if she's 8 and she wants to stay up till like 1 in the morning.
If she wants to watch Naruto, then we have a problem.
Got some issues. Who do you think is best girl?
Parenting has failed.
I failed as a father.
Parenting has failed.
So, tell us a little bit. Just last question for you for the night.
Indeed,
when it comes to your podcast, like, what is your, like, if you were trying to accomplish something, what is the one thing you would like to accomplish or were trying to accomplish?
The one thing I've got a couple.
And just to clarify, you don't have to have already accomplished it. It's something that you can or want to accomplish in the future.
Okay, I got a couple of celebrity interviews before, but the interview that I need to accomplish is Zach Galifianakis. If I get this interview, then I'm gonna say yes, I have achieved success.
Alan from The Hangover.
Yes, I am his chocolate brethren, and we definitely have to have this conversation. That guy is me summed up. I don't know if you've seen his the Between Two Ferns, and this guy's just does the type of shit that I do, and his comedy is interesting because it's kind of like he doesn't shed any light to his jokes. He just will say a joke and you just move on, and then like a couple seconds later, you're like, "Hold, did he say?" And I love that shit. There's no need, there's no do you get it or nothing. He just says something wild, and then he just pulls out a sheet of paper and says something else, and you're like, hold on, we have to go back.
Wait a minute, rewind.
Yeah. He'll misspell stuff. He just does stuff on purpose and not make you notice that he did it.
Right.
And it's just hilarious.
To answer Lonnie's question, it's back to the topic at hand. What do y'all think about lack of new movies and video games? The easy universal question to that is, COVID-19 has delayed production on a lot of video games, DLC, and movie production.
If anything, like there were a lot of companies who had. I know E3 has been on the decline, but there was going to be E3 this year, and obviously Sony was going to skip it, and then I think Microsoft wasn't going to do as much, and then Nintendo, they wanted to make this big deal. Like that's why in September when they unveiled the 3D All Stars, they were going to unveil it in June, and they were going to show off Steve and Minecraft probably at E3. And there were a lot of other plans, but obviously due to COVID, they couldn't really do much.
Yeah, a lot of like, the DLC for my video games, like Fighters and Dragon Ball, Kakarot,
also a lot of things, and also Evo. Not only was COVID, and what didn't help, there was a scandal going on too during Evo around the fighting game community. And at the point now, Evo, I think Evo's not going to recover. I don't think Evo's going to happen ever. It's probably it's over for Evo.
Indeed.
Right. So.
I guess should we explain why that's
no?
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I think COVID has spoken for itself.
Not COVID, it was enough, but then what happened after? I think COVID is enough already.
I know. Just real quick, I know you're going on hiatus, but if I could recommend one guest for you,
it's gonna be you.
No, yeah, no, I would love to be on your show. Like if you have other people talking about something serious, I would be so fucking down to be on there, and like. If you want the smoke, I'll bring the smoke. You got me.
Well, it's funny that you brought this up because as I was hearing your thoughts on looking to your left and seeing twerking in the bar, a light bulb was flying over my head. It was off the screen. You couldn't see it.
No, it's
probably
I saw
CGI.
your hair. I saw your hair get brighter.
Yeah, there it is. The light bulb was shining, and I was like, "Hey, we need to have a little conversation." It's kind of sucks because after I decided to do a hiatus, I've met a couple of cool people since then, and I'm like, dang, we could do this tomorrow. And I'm like, no, not yet. Just want to chill a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna make that happen.
I
will tell you this. I'm trying. What I've been trying to work on is finding people on the complete opposite spectrum because it pisses people off more. Because when I had the Trump guy, the comedian, the Crip, it let me know. I was like, you know what? We're gonna go down your road, and we're gonna go down some extreme roads where people are just this guy is this guy is this. We need maybe a pastor and a demon worshiper on the same episode, a stripper on there, and let them all scream at each other while I eat potato chips.
You got a free movie right there.
For real, like
The new Dogma looks good.
I'm telling you
Is this
right
Kevin
now,
Smith's Dogma reboot?
If you want the smoke, I'll bring the smoke, man. I got you.
I'll just give me some sun chips.
Hey, man, you tell me when, you tell me where,
chips.
and I'm so down.
Indeed.
I'll
tell you what. Once we press the stop button, me and you are gonna press this cool button called Messenger Conversation.
Messenger. I do recommend.
Let's get this plotted.
I do recommend one guest. They're a group called the Black Table Podcast. They're very cool and they're very open-minded, and they have a lot to say.
I think I've heard of these cats. I think we've had a couple of conversations. If not, you said it's the block table.
The black table.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and press a couple of buttons right now. Press this button called follow. You might have heard of it before. And we'll add
My button doesn't say follow.
So one of the things about Geeks
control.
5 Ever is that our slogan is we like to be the voice of the voiceless.
I like that.
We like to share like people that you normally can't reach. We want to help you reach out to those people.
Facts.
Because everyone has a voice and they deserve to be heard, whether it's wrong or right.
Indeed.
And we live in a community where a lot of people feel like they're voiceless, like they are being unheard. So it is our job to help project their voices and make sure people hear them, whether you agree with them or not.
Indeed.
Hear what they have to say, because you can learn a lot from people that you disagree with and people you agree with.
And you know what? I agree with that. I agree with that. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm. It's all about being open-minded. Sometimes you have to be open to the horizon of new ideas. Because if you're not willing to expand your mind, then you're not willing to move forward.
Side note, that's kind of what got me into podcasting. Like I've listened to podcasts and I hear people say stuff and I say, the fuck? Hell no, that's not true. But for some reason, instead of me like not listening to those people, I listen again and I'm like, that's bullshit.
No, absolutely. You get that a lot. Like, that's bullshit. How can you say that? Like, I was raised by a cup of coffee and it told me to say this, that, and think this and that.
Then you press subscribe.
I like your y'all do tabletop games besides D&D. Need some strats for my Canton games. Our tabletop expert would be
Jace.
Settlers of Catan is a god awful game and it's so hard.
Pathfinder's
just getting good.
Pathfinder's just D&D on shrooms.
Pathfinder is just advanced mathematics with a painting of D&D.
If you hate math, you're not gonna like this game.
You're gonna have bad time for 4 hours.
Oh yeah, I don't want nothing to do with it.
No, so we like we want to say thank you once again for coming onto our channel. Like it was a really good conversation. I have to say that this was a really, really laid back conversation. Like most of our conversations, like most of the interviews we do.
Did pretty good for a one-armed man.
Yeah, there you go. Trying to make that thing swing, you know.
I was like, who the fuck is the one-armed man? Then I see you slinging. I'm like, oh.
It's a reference.
I was going to say, I didn't see that either.
Yeah.
We're on the same podcast. I brought it up.
I don't remember hearing that.
This is
Maybe it was one of the times I disappeared.
This is one of the few podcasts where we didn't talk about fucking Transformers for 20 minutes.
He did talk about it for like 2 minutes, though.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I'm just poking fun at you. You haven't
The
been here
only
all
time we've
week.
ever talked about Transformers for 20 minutes is when they had the actual Transformers
I am
actors on.
literally just poking fun at you because you haven't fucking been here all week since Monday.
Now you're
By the
taking
way,
her
we
off.
told your sister happy birthday last night.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did
you
a shout
did?
out.
I'll tell Sour Patch Kid you guys said that.
Yeah,
That's
and we
sweet.
were willing to talk about Pokemon with her.
Speaking of this bitch right here.
This bitch right here.
How much was your salad today?
Oh, my baby.
Yeah,
Oh.
like, don't forget to mute us.
He's still flicking her paw.
All I heard was
Hold
bra.
on. So I'm so sorry. So like I'm
Bra.
still on the cast. The guy said happy birthday to you.
Yesterday.
Birthday happy.
What did she
So
say?
mean.
What did she fucking say?
Oh, okay.
Well, tell her
Happy
we're willing to
birth-
talk about Pokemon with her as a birthday gift.
Yeah. You need to
Too
come on the
bad.
show. We'll talk about Pokemon.
No.
Why
Oh,
not?
damn.
She sounds like the Magic Conch show from SpongeBob's like, can I
No.
no. Can I have something to eat? No.
No.
Can't you say anything else but no? Try asking
Damn, Magic
again.
Conch. What the fuck? It's a cat.
Your sister looks like a cat.
Yeah, your sister
muted
looks like a
myself.
cat. It's a big
She's showing
pussy.
me my cat.
It's a big pussy on the phone.
Yes, today's Friday. Hold on.
By the way, I have no fucking filter.
Okay.
The
Hold on.
moment of truth.
Yeah, I gotta go. I got things to do, but I'll try and get her to come on maybe for
Alright,
at
alright,
least like karaoke and stuff.
Goku's like, okay, let's get going.
Bye.
Hurry up and end this.
All right, no, I am. No, but we're
whoa,
good.
shit.
misery now.
No, thank you. No, thank you very much for being on our show, man. Like, this was a really good conversation we had. Obviously, I love your show. It's amazing. Plus, you got like that whole smooth jazz, late night.
Charisma. There you go.
Keep it a pimpin' around here.
That's right. For all you people out there getting laid, here's the latest hits from.
Velvet Juggernaut.
Yeah, for real, bro.
From
Wait,
Kids
wait,
Bop,
shh.
1997.
Wait. Shh, shh. Do you hear that? Shh. Do you hear that?
I
What is
farted.
that sound? Sounds
It's
like sounds like 1,000 panties hitting the floor.
indeed. Well, I'll let you know that pimping has never been an easy task. There's a wise man said that the purse come first and the hearse come last.
That's right. No, but thank you. I know it's been a while. We've been trying to do this for a while, but thank you so much. For
Now we gotta do this shit again too.
We will. No, fuck yeah. We want you back. Like whenever you have free time. I know you're about to go on hiatus. We'll definitely work something out though. But fuck yeah, dude.
I might have 2 arms next time. You don't know what that might lead to.
Start doing some.
It's too much. We're going to have to break the other one just to be sure.
Sonic boom.
Definitely we will. We definitely want you back. Like this was a good podcast. We have a lot to talk about. There's a lot that we can cover. I know you have a lot of input. You have a lot. Like you got so much. You have more to share than I think you realize. Plus,
hear
like
that the
your
dogs are
show
upset.
has inspired some of our subjects, like guys that can't say no. The whole friend zone thing. All that shit.
Hey, don't make me, get emotional. I already feel moisture coming in my eyeball. There you go.
Well, hopefully you make the ladies feel moisture somewhere else.
A lot of humidity.
There's a lot of humidity going on.
No, bro, I was cold outside today. I don't know what you're talking about.
Humidities.
Well, I don't know if you want too much humidity.
Is there any? Do you want to plug your sponsors again? Anybody you want to plug, shout out, anything before we call it a day?
Definitely make sure to plug my podcast, Velvet Vibe Podcast. Definitely want to make sure to plug 500 Vodka. Definitely want to make sure to plug my entire cast. When I say the cast, we're talking about Lanopoly. We're talking about Scorp Huncho. We're talking about S.A. Wildchild. And when we're talking about a Lanopoly, we got to give myself a shout out because I looked down at my left knee and I looked down at my right knee. One of them was ashy. And then I decided to drop down to that knee. I said, hand me your hand. She said, here's my hand. I looked at her finger. It began to shine. I said, that's right. If he like it, he's going to put a ring on it. And that motherfucker did it. So this is how we're rocking. VVP for life.
Nice. Well, since we're doing plugs, I guess we might as well end the show. So for those of you out there that are going out to the conventions that are still open, are the Texas Renaissance Festival, are all the bars and clubs that are opening legally throughout the state of Texas, remember, you always want to use Magnum condoms. We want to thank our sponsor, whoever sent, I don't know if it was Magnum themselves or a certain individual who sent a box of Magnums to us on the podcast. Thank you very much for sending a whole box. Don't worry, I'll use them. Remember, Magnum condoms. When you don't want to get stuck because you're at the grocery store and you see the one family with the screaming kid that they refuse to discipline, Magnum condoms come in hand. Because you remember, you don't want to get stuck and then suffer the consequences 9 months later. Also brought to you by Goku Burger. Delicious. Goku Burger in Porter, Texas. That's right. Mexican-style burgers that are by width and not by length. That's right. They got all kinds of shit going on. It's Mexican style hamburgers they're made fresh, never frozen beef. Also sponsored by NoNameNerd.com. That's right. If you go to NoNameNerd.com and whenever you're about to check out, make sure you use the coupon code Geeks5ever to get 10% off of your purchase. Also, since it's Friday, we're also brought to you by beer. Make sure you check out Velvet Vibes Podcast on Facebook and anywhere you can get your podcast right now. That's Velvet Vibes Podcast. Also, make sure you check out Keyblade Sonic's YouTube channel. That's Keyblade Sonic. You can also, like I said, you can find Velvet Vibes Podcast on Spotify, right? Spotify,
Pandora, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere that you like to hear your podcasts.
Right. I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to say, so I just wanted to give you the chance to say that.
And we also have a special feature. You can listen with garments on. You can listen butt naked. As long as you've got earbuds and access to a speaker. Express yourself.
You don't say. Naked now. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up on our video. The way the YouTube algorithm works is it will share the video with our community and with future members of our community by hitting the thumbs up. Also, if you have a suggestion for a guest, a future topic, or if you want to be on the show yourself, make sure you hit the comment section below on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Also, if you would like to donate to Geeks5ever, you can hit us up on Cash App or PayPal or join our Patreon. Patreon is a monthly service fee. And you also get some of our perks, like the Terrible Fan Fiction and our OnlyFans, where you can watch us eat cereal.
Quality stuff.
Remember, I am Jesse Goku, also known as El Rey de Mexico, el oso Jesse Goku, and aquí estamos con Telemundo. And I am telling everybody to have a good night.
Just got a new subscriber. I just pressed that button.
Night. All right, guys. Take care.
Out this
Yeti.